Hello.
And welcome to
Let's Talk About Book, where we talk about
book. Holly heard us start the intro and came running over.
She had to come interrupt us. Mm-hmm. I am Strawberry.
And I'm Smeevca. And this is Holly.
Uh-huh.
You can't hear her because she doesn't understand the concept of a podcast. So she won't just speak on command. Instead, she's just like, it's cuddle time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably more like it's playtime, but we're doing something right now. Is that okay, ma'am?
But we are reading Skysworn.
Yes, we're finally getting to the second part of Skysworn.
Yeah. So we're doing chapters 7 through 12?
Yes, 7 through 12. Another 6-chapter run. Because last time we were going to do 9, but then we did 6, and so now we're doing...
read 3 more. It's
Yep,
a
so
whole
we read
mess.
3 more, so it's like the first 3 chapters, it's been so long since we read, because that was back when the laptop exploded.
Yes.
It didn't literally explode, but
it really felt like it.
It really felt like it. So now we're finally gonna do those 3 chapters, and then 3 more chapters, and then next time we'll do 6.
Do the end of,
Yeah. So that's the plan.
Yeah.
Do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, share it places, perhaps, maybe do that one.
I always love seeing the comments.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go on into the chapters.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 7. Last time, Ethan, I did it. I almost right off the bat called Lyndon Ethan.
Yep.
Lyndon lost an arm because of Ethan.
Yep.
But I don't. In the Game of Thrones videos, you want to call Bran John?
Well, I want to call
Rob. You want to call Rob John all the time. Dear Lord.
I never even throw Bran in there.
No. What am I doing? What is wrong with me right now? But yes, I get Lyndon and Ethan. I want to call Lyndon Ethan all the time. And I don't know why. I think just Lyndon, Ethan. They just, I don't know. They rhyme. They, whatever.
Yeah. They are part of the same family now.
They are part of the same.
He is Lyndon Aurelius now.
Yes. I think that, Ethan, as just, a name, is close to, Ethan.
Yeah.
And so I think it just, comes out more easily than Lyndon. Not that Lyndon's that weird of a name.
Yep.
Really, but it's just
slightly
more different, slightly less familiar.
Yep.
But Lyndon lost an arm.
Yes.
Because of Ethan.
Yes.
And so now we start this chapter. This is the arm chapter.
Yeah.
This is talking with Fisher Gesha about getting a new arm.
Yep.
As well as talking with Ethan about, hey, why'd you let me lose my arm, bud?
Yep. And also trying not to think about too much how he lost his arm.
Yeah. You just gotta,
Yeah, because Fisher Gesha, he, keeps, looking at it, and Fisher Gesha's like, no, please, do not look at that, look at me.
Yep.
You cannot, focus on that. We're getting you a new one. Let's focus on that and not...
Right, we gotta look forward right now. We gotta look forward. Look at all these cool new arm options you have.
Yep.
I know you, Lyndon. This is the kind of thing that you'll be excited about.
Yep.
Cool new arm.
And he is excited about it, but he is also... upset and uncomfortable, and
I think there's a part of him that I think there's maybe a part in here where he for a moment's maybe I should just get rid of my other arm and replace it with.
Well, because she gives him 3 options, and he's like, he's like, well, could I do all 3 or whatever? I could just change them out, and she's like, it would be losing your arm again. You have to it gets fully attached to.
Right. You can't just pop it on and off. Yeah.
And he's like, ah. But,
yeah, and so she is walking him through the different arm options.
Yes.
And I don't remember exactly what they are. There's one of them that's a cloud arm.
Yeah, I do love this little bit at the beginning, though. Prosthetic limbs are among the easiest constructs for are among the easiest constructs for a soulsmith to create. You were lucky. If we had to replace one of your organs, I'd be singing a very different tune right now.
Yeah, I do feel like an internal organ is I mean, the thing is, though, is that, like, hands are very complicated. Our hands are very complicated and, like, precise things.
Yep.
But also, like, having to get your internal organs...
Yeah. And because they're also using, like, remnant arms as a base anyway. Right. So it's like, it's not like they're having to make the hand by scratch. They're, you know.
Right. It's like there's more in common in the sense of, like, you have limbs.
Yeah.
Than in, like, getting, you know, like, doing a heart transplant, but with, like, a baboon or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think is a thing that we've done before, although it doesn't work super well. Anyway. But there is a certain level of, like, you know, our hands are very complicated because there's so many, like, nerve endings in there, and so getting, like, nerves to line up correctly.
Right.
But luckily, we don't have to worry about that because this is literally jacking into your soul.
Yep, exactly.
So it's like, I feel like you can definitely control it if it's literally just, like, becoming a part of your soul, essentially.
Yeah, and he has a bit of a hard time with it. We'll get to his the personality of his new arm.
Yes. Lyndon is a very funny character.
Yes.
Just like and I sort of appreciate the joke of him as it goes on, of like, because like polite Lyndon with the scary eyes and with the dramatic arm.
Yes, with the scary, yes.
Yeah, he just, like, is so friendly but keeps getting scarier. Yes, it's good.
It's so good.
It's good Gap Moe.
Yeah.
You know, like...
I love that.
Yeah, it's just, like... Eventually, by the end of the series, Lyndon's gonna be someone's edgy DeviantArt OC, just, like, all decked out. And, like, maybe even unrecognizable. Yeah. But then he's still just gonna be like, you know, like, greetings.
Greetings, exactly.
This one, you know. Yeah.
He started to get rid of this one.
He has.
Ethan and Yaren has, and Fisher Gesha has trained him out of that a little bit.
Yeah, it's just wild. Yeah, because I'm just thinking about, like, when we get, like, the Jai-Chen perspective, and that is very much kind of, like, you know. Oh, yeah. How he is from an external perspective.
It's so fun seeing him from other people's perspectives like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, yeah. So, yeah, the different arms that like, Fisher Gesha, like, shows Lyndon and stuff. So there's the,
Cloud one, and then there's also, like, a grabby one. Super descriptive.
So there's one from a Fisher remnant, and it has like a snare binding. So it's similar to like what he used in the battle with Jailong, where it's like but Fisher Gesha's not quite sure how it'll work with Black Flame, like because it has to work. Whatever arm he gets has to work with both cores, and they think that the Black Flame will make it like corrosive, or like it might like burn whatever it touches, and once it equalizes with the Black Flame, they're not like quite sure.
Yeah, it'd be more of like a fire whip kind of thing than like a, you know, snare grab kind of thing.
Yeah. So there's like that one, and then there's the Cloud Hammer one, which it's like a gray mass of cloud, and it can like stretch and like phase through things, and it like requires like concentration, and it's made from like
because in order to actually be like corporeal, you have to like focus and like make it solid, which is interesting. And we had a whole little bit before this where I was talking about Cloud Madra, and I'm like, I want to know more about it. Right because I feel like I have a less intuitive sense of it than like some of the others, because like when we got Black Flame, it's like, okay, Black Flame is like equal parts
fire and destruction.
So it's like fire, but even more destructive than like normal fuck. The
normal fuck.
The normal fuck. But yeah, it's like more destructive than normal fire. It's magically super destruction fire. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, in a lot of things, you're chucking fireballs, and it's like, really, they would only do so much damage because of how fire actually blah blah blah. It's like, nah, man, this is fucking super magic fire. And so then like when it's like Cloud Hammer Madra,
I think it would be Cloud Madra and Force. I think would probably be in there.
Yeah.
I think.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just like...
And wind, probably, but I think that's also in Cloud.
Yeah, because it's like, because like White Fox Madra is made of like light and dream.
Right.
And so it's like, what's going in to make Cloud Madra,
right.
and like what's so cool about it? Because we haven't seen the Cloud Hammer school like do anything so far, and so I'm just like excited.
Yeah.
To figure out, because they're apparently like super cool and whatnot. Yeah. So I'm just excited to like learn more, because they got a little rain cloud. Over their head. And I'm like.
Yeah, the only one we've really seen a lot of is Renfei.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we haven't seen her like do anything.
Yeah.
Combat wise.
Right.
And then there's like the third arm.
Yes, then the third one is the Shifting Sky arm, Path of the Shifting Skies. It is from a remnant that like Fisher Gesha got. That it's an interesting blend of cloud, wind, and water Madra. And it's extremely close to pure. It was only barely tinged with other aspects of Madra, as though the artist who left it cycled aura for no more than a month. Though it's a high gold arm. So she's like super intrigued. It's like, how did this come about? Like, how is it so close to pure?
Mm-hmm.
But like they're high gold, so like they're still like, that's like some amount of power,
Yeah, this is definitely me getting too in the weeds on this and being too nitpicky. But it's got, what was it? It was cloud,
wind and water.
Wind and water. Yeah. So cloud is separate from water and wind. So what makes clouds distinct from the wind and water part of what clouds are, I guess, is my question.
I'm thinking it's part of like some sort of like perception type of, just like that it's thought of as different.
Yeah.
But I'm not certain. I don't know. I think that was just kind of...
Yeah. I'm just like thinking too much about Cloud Madra for some reason. For some reason, this is the thing.
I love it.
That I'm like, because it's like... Again, it's like, well, this is just how the world works.
Yeah.
Physics aren't the same. Fundamentally. Stop worrying about it so much.
Yeah, I think I just thought of it, I'm just like, it's cloud, so it's just Cloud Madra. Clouds are a thing, so Cloud Madra is a thing.
Yeah, it's just like, but what does it do? What is its fundamental property?
It's fluffy and it looks cool and it has I'm guessing maybe some lightning, like maybe it can be stormy in some way, because like she's got little storm clouds, so like it could be like wind and lightning and fly around, and
because like the flying around, like the thing that I focus on is like the floating, because it's like you can, because they use them to fly around on the 1,000-mile clouds and to make skyships and stuff, so it feels like the primary function of Cloud Madra is lightness, weightlessness.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but it's like, I don't know, because it's
or
like,
if that's just like the most common use of it,
Right, because it's like
the most easily used by like a large amount of people,
Because it's just like for some reason, in terms of like my intuitive sense of Madra, it's like, you tell me fire Madra, and I'm like, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. You shoot fire, you control fire, you do fire stuff.
Yeah.
Same with like water and air, and then like life Madra, I'm like, ooh, that's interesting, you do stuff with life. Maybe that's like healing, making things grow, etc. But then it's like, and destruction Madra is like pure destroying things. Okay, interesting. But then I'm like, Cloud Madra, and I'm like, what does that... I don't have an intuitive sense of what Cloud Madra would do.
Yeah.
And so it's been thrown around a few times, and I'm like, but what does it do? And that's all.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I think it's just because we've had so long between recording. That I've like had time to just like think about it a bunch and get it in my head in a way that if I just read the book, I'd see them do something at some point and maybe like not get so caught up on it, But I'm just like all in my head about it, because it's like it's part of his arm now, and so I'm like, what is up with that?
Yeah, well, he didn't choose the cloud one.
Well, no, but the Shifting Skies one has
cloud. Yes,
cloud in it. It has wind, water, and cloud, but like only just a little, just a little bit. So it's just like it's mostly pure, but with a little bit of sky in there.
Yeah.
Just sort of generally.
Got you, yeah.
But I'm like, what's that gonna end up doing for him,
Yeah.
But that one doesn't have a binding in.
Yeah, it doesn't have a binding. So he's like, what's the catch or whatever? It doesn't have a binding. And so he's like, well, what if we put a binding in it? He's like, I've been looking at the whole, like, spear thing. I really, like, this whole Hunger Madra thing is, like, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, they talk a little bit about, like, how weird it was that they found, like, an almost pure remnant. It was, like, that was the whole, finding a pure remnant in the wild was next to impossible because there was so few pure Madra paths. That was the whole reason Ethan had gone through the effort of raising him to low gold without hunting down a remnant. And that was just, like, a little... What was I saying?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just, like... I started thinking about dragons.
Yeah.
Because, like... Jai Chen's Madra.
Yeah, she makes a little dragon.
She makes a little dragon, but she also now is, like, a lot of wind.
Yeah.
It's, like, because she's also, like, a bunch of pure Madra from Ethan.
Yeah.
But then there's also, like, wind. There was wind Madra around, as well as, like, the light and blade, sort of, like...
Yeah.
Stellar Spear Madra. So there's, like, the Stellar Spear, like, light and stuff, and then, like, wind and pure.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, and then he has, like, pure, and now a little bit of, like, wind and water and, like, sort of sky type stuff.
Yeah.
With his, like, arm. And I'm like, and then he's got, like, the whole black flame, which is dragony, and then, like, the sky stuff, which could be dragony if he wasn't turtle dragon. Ground dragon.
Yeah,
you know?
because Orthos hates flying. We'll see that.
Yeah, and so I was just like, he's got dragon, she's got dragons.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and so I was just kind of thinking about that, and then you were reading something, and then we both lost what we were talking about.
They were just like, it doesn't have a binding, he wants to add the hunger.
Yes, yeah, he's excited about, like, the Hunger Madra and stuff. Yeah. And then I was thinking about the types of Madra that he had.
Yeah, so they were talking a bit about Hunger Madra and about the Dread Beasts and everything, because, like, they'd seen... Like, they knew about the Madra and seen, like, Dread Beasts, but they didn't have a name for it, because, like, they've been going through the notes that they got from the Transcendent Ruins, and it, like, they talked about, like, a Subject 1, and, like, about, that. It's, we never had a name for the White Madra. Our judges could measure some of its properties, but not enough to identify it. These notes call it Hunger Madra, which is perhaps one of the most absurd names for a power I've ever heard, though it seems to fit. And it's compatible with, like, every type of Madra, which is, like, weird and, like, rare.
Part of these, like, Dread Beasts' ability to, like, digest Madra and, like, incorporate it into themselves and stuff.
Yep.
As them being, like, a living Madra-based organism, they have to have a way of, like, you know, getting Madra for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, like, it's,
yeah, so then he's, like, wondering where the bindings, like, came from or whatever. Like, that's what disturbs me. And she's like, what? But it doesn't matter. Like, they could put Hunger Madra, like, they could put the binding into the arm, but there's no, like, framework that needs, like, we would need more Hunger Madra to reinforce, and to adapt to the arm to handle the binding. Besides, do you really want a hand that devours Madra? It could start feeding on the spirit of anyone you touch. To Lyndon, that sounded incredible.
Yeah. It would, Lyndon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then he's like, well, it'd be, like, if it worked like the Ancestor Spear, it'd be so much easier to advance. He's like, well, why don't we try it, or whatever. And then, like, talking about, like, well, we need the script, like, the Ancestor Spear worked, like, mostly because of the script, and all of that.
Right, yeah, that was a big part of it.
And, besides, we need more Hunger Madra if we're gonna build it into your arm without collapsing it, and the spear has dissolved already. There's no... And then Ethan walks in.
Like, hello there.
Waiting for his cue, and he found it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he, Lyndon, like, starts to say hi, but he can't quite do it. And, like, Ethan's acting all cheery, like, hey, here's the materials. I just so happen to have it. And, like, he's, like, shows it to, like, Ethan.
He's got the spearhead and is like, hey, here you go.
Yeah, shows it to Fisher Gesha and is like, you can work with this or whatever, right? And she's like, yeah, we can probably, like, we can do it, like, as long as we get, like, I need Lyndon to help. I almost said Ethan. I almost did it.
I'm infecting you with it.
Need Lyndon to, like, his pure Madra to, like, bind it all together.
Right.
And then Ethan's like, I need to, like, talk to him, like, on his own or whatever. And then
Fisher Gesha starts going off on him.
Yeah, like for the first time, because she's like pretty like kind of scared of him, because like he's an underlord, and you know like
right.
She's very worried about that. Don't you give him trouble now. He ought to get some time to rest after a day like this. You hear me? He's not a construct. Even if he were, you couldn't push him every day like you do without ever giving him time to rest. I don't intend to. A whole year I've been here. A whole year of my life I've given up. I don't have many of those left, do I? Well, I've always wanted to see the Empire, and so I have. I've tried foods I've never heard of before. I've worked on remnants I couldn't imagine. I've met strange people and seen strange sights. How much of that has he done,
Yeah. It's we get like more focus in these chapters on like Lyndon actually getting like leisure time on this idea that like Lyndon hasn't had the opportunity to just live his life during any of this time.
And he's just been like pushing for like over a year.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that we're getting a little bit of that in here.
Yeah, and Lyndon's like, he supposed he thought she just worked all the time like he did.
Yeah.
And then it's more of her rant. At least he's got Yaren with him. She's a good girl, but she wouldn't rest if someone killed her. You have to slow them down, you hear me? They're not underlords. Not yet.
Right.
And he, like, Ethan, like, apologizes to her, honored grandmother. After that rant is, like, Ethan is like, you know, I don't believe I paid enough attention to her. So that, like...
Yeah, kind of, like, endeared her to him a little bit more. Sort of, like, he appreciated that.
Yeah, for, like, her, like, sticking up to him. Because, like, he doesn't get that very often.
No, and he actually does like when people talk to him like that more than the like being scared and bowing and scraping kind of thing that like, you know, she's understandably like nervous around him because of the power dynamic, but like, you know, he likes when people don't acknowledge the power dynamic.
Yeah.
But then
it's
like,
also kind of hard.
It's also kind of hard, and also like it is still there.
Yep.
It is still there, Ethan, and important, and informs whether or not I get to have a fucking arm anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it does make his whole, like, aloof shtick interesting. Like, more interesting as, like, a character trait that we like, but is also kind of a character flaw.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, he's like, yeah, just talk to me like I'm a normal person, you know, I'm just a normal guy that you can talk to, but I'm also insanely powerful. But, like, I'm just a regular guy. Uh-oh, you've lost your arm, and it's my fault, but, like, you know, it's fine, you know. Yeah, it just, it's interesting. I feel like I've enjoyed this book for, like, how it brings a little bit more sort of, like, interesting character stuff.
Yeah.
Like, more sort of actual character drama and less sort of just pure external.
Yep. Like needs to fight something or whatever. It's like these, like, internal... Yeah,
these sort of, like, internal conflicts and interpersonal conflicts that are, like, you know, not, we have to fight each other kind of interpersonal conflict.
Right. And they're, like, you understand the characters and you see, like, and they, like, care about each other, but they, you know. And
it's good to have had, like, a little bit of, like, time with these characters to sort of, like, get who they are and then have them sort of, like, have this conflict with each other. But I do still think that, like, because we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast.
Yeah.
That, like, if there is one thing that I would kind of criticize is that, like, some of these books could be put together. Kind of, like, split up differently, grouped a little bit differently.
Yeah, because I know he specifically doesn't like to write, like, over a certain size of book, and I think it can hurt it structurally.
Right, because it's, like, you've already committed to it's going to be, like, a long series.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be, like 14?
Yeah, something like that.
Books or whatever. And so just, like, making a couple of them, like, I don't know. It's already going to be a lot. Like, I get wanting to have the shorter books because the shorter book is less intimidating. Starting, like, fairly soon, he gets, I think, better structurally. Yeah, and I think just, like, if you're gonna have the shorter books, you gotta structure them a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like, the way they're structured right now, it's, like, sometimes a book... Because, like, we were talking about how at the beginning of this book, like, the first third of this book... is...
It feels like the climax of the previous book.
Because we're actually have the Jai Long fight and everything. Which is super fun and cool, but it's like, this should be coming at, like, the end of the last book.
Right.
As opposed to, like, just sort of starting this book, and so we're getting the climax for the last couple books set up. And then immediately jumping into like the start of the next thing, and so it's like we're gonna be reading the last third, and I'm like, what's the climax of this book going to be? I mean, it's gonna be like, I guess, going and fighting
like some like
Red Moon
Hall stuff,
Red Moon Hall sort of stuff. But I imagine but that feels like the starting sort of like, you know, we've gotten the inciting incident of like the next book.
Yeah.
In like halfway through this book with like the Red Moon Hall stuff, you know, it's like it gets set up with like we know it's gonna happen because of the Jai Daisho stuff
at the very beginning,
right? But it's like if we were to hypothetically imagine that like basically the first few chapters of this book happened at the end of the last book, you would still get like this like
this is coming,
it's sort of like this is coming for like later, but then it's like. You know, it ends with like the duel. Lyndon lives, but he loses his arm, and like maybe at the end of, you know, we end like around here where it's like
either this is like epilogue or it's like at the start of the next book is like him like
getting like being like, okay, you can get a new arm, but we can't do it right now, but like sort of setting that up. So that's like the epilogue at the beginning of the next one, and like we're about to be in these next couple chapters that we're going to talk about, be getting sort of like the inciting incident stuff for like all the crazy Dread God stuff that's going to be happening. But like having like that starting, we're going to have some sort of conflict with Red Moon Hall, presumably, at the end of this book. But like if that was just kind of like like here's us trying to do something, and then like the bigger payoff is gonna come later. Like we're not gonna go solve everything right now in this book. I don't feel like we're probably gonna have to like really solve things next book. With the fucking Phoenix and whatnot. So it's like you could maybe like split those up and like still. But I mean, I also haven't gotten to the next book yet to say as much about that. But I do feel like this bit that I've read so far, I'm like, you could have taken some of that and just put it on the end of the last one, and it would have like worked. It would have been like, and then we have the climax with the fight, and Lyndon loses the arm.
I think he might not have wanted to do like a time skip in that book in that way.
Yeah, because we do get like the time skip of him like being because it's like that does.
But I do get it.
Right, you know, it's like it's like if you were to do it that way, you probably would have like maybe made some of the like training montage stuff in Black Flame like longer, you know?
Like
instead of like
some of it.
because like they skip some of it, and then also it's like we then have the whole fight, but then then Lyndon gets arrested, but then he's still like training just like off screen during that time. So if we said that like if we off screened that training to like the before, and then just sort of like and then we just sort of get like, oh, Lyndon's been like arrested and right before the thing, but then it feels like a little weird. It's just you know, it's like you could maybe just like not have him get arrested or have him get arrested, but it's like, oh no, you're still gonna have to do the fight. So it's like, fuck, I thought this was maybe gonna get me out of it, but like I still gotta do it. And there's still like a little bit of like time of him and Joe, but like maybe like instead of it being like he spends a bunch of time in there training, it's like that was, I don't know. You could maybe like shift it around a little bit. Again, it's like because it's a structural problem, if you were to hypothetically rewrite it, certain other things would probably also want to be changed. You can't just perfectly like cut off some of these chapters and put them on.
Right.
But like, you know, you would probably just like structure it a little differently to begin with, but still just like have that book end with the Jai Long fight. Because it's like, oh man, he saved my sister, and like, and having that be like in like the same book. You know, it's like, oh, what do I do? As opposed to like, and then he does it, and then the next book is like, it's like, all right, the fight's gonna start. No, we're kind of chill because of I don't know. And it's like, you know, reading them all together like this, it doesn't feel so bad because you're just like going from one to the next, but it does just sort of feel a little arbitrary sometimes. Like
the cutoffs do feel kind of arbitrary. I feel like sometimes in this in this series,
like I feel like because it's just like I already feel like we had the climax for this book. And now we're about to have, and then I'm like, what's gonna happen with the rest of the book? We
haven't.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's still just like it just, you know. But yeah,
I'm pretty excited.
But it's also, it's like, it's interesting because this is like indie publishing.
Yeah.
Sort of like, it's gonna be.
Yeah, just a little different.
A little different, and that's like, and that's not like a bad thing.
Yeah.
For it to be different in that way. It's just super interesting because I haven't read a lot of like actual like indie published stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's like, except for the very extreme end, which is like, fucking fan fiction
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But, so it's just kind of interesting to have this, like, experience. But we haven't even, like, finished Chapter 7 yet, because we still have, like, the Lyndon and Nathan conversation.
Yeah, I really like this conversation, because it, like, Lyndon kind of makes him drop his, like, persona a little bit. Like, it's like talking about, I have no complaints about my work over the past year. I know it was done for my benefit. Not entirely for your benefit. I was initially hoping. I said that like 3 times in a row.
I feel like you've done that one before. Opening.
Just not wanna. I was, because initially hoping.
Yes.
Are next to each other.
It's
not working.
Yep.
I was initially hoping that Jai Long would serve as motivation for you, of course, but the situation evolved as soon as Jai Daisho inserted himself. I was hoping to reap some benefits for the Aurelius, though I didn't get everything I wanted, I still made some measurable progress. I'll chalk this whole thing up to a win, though we may have indirectly led to the destruction of the entire empire. And Lyndon's like, I know that's supposed to be bait, but I'm not taking it. Like, I'm not saying that or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not focusing on the destruction of the Empire part.
He goes, you could have finished off Jai Daisho immediately. Ethan's smile faded. I could have, yes. You drew it out. You were trying to get him to bring out that crystal ball. The Archstone, he took my arm. Instead of deflecting or pointing out that technically Jai Long was the one who had removed his arm, which would have been typical Ethan tactics, the Underlord simply nodded. He did. If he hadn't given the order, Jai Long would have left you alone. And it's just like, goes through each like decision or whatever. The admission both made Lyndon feel better and much, much worse.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that he owns up to it.
Yep.
I feel like that's good. It's like he knows and understands, but he's just like, that's just how it's got to be.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, which is nice, but also worse somehow.
Yep. And Lyndon's just like,
it's good because you're like, because I remember you asking me, it's like, would he have done anything different? And it's like, no, I don't think he would have.
No.
And that stings.
Yep.
But it's also just like, you're like, well, he's honest in a sense. He's like,
yep.
I know that this was a bad thing, but also,
But also I would do it again.
Yep. Your arm is a sacrifice I am willing to make. And that, and he understands it's a sacrifice. He understands that it sucks.
Yep.
He's, the fact that he, like, if he was like, nah, it's fine, it's whatever.
So it's not,
It's not really that bad.
Yep.
You
should suck it up.
It's like, that would be, understandable from like a character perspective, right? Like, not to say like,
but like he's very powerful and like
right?
just
if he was a slightly different kind of character, him just being like, whatever, and like not
suck it up,
because like we've already seen that like Ethan does have this capacity to take things seriously,
and that's what like Lyndon expects Yaren's reaction to be. Like, we'll get to that, but that's like what he expects from her.
He expects her to be like, suck it up, like just whatever. So it's just interesting. It's nice for him to actually get like this sort of like sympathy from people and for them to like care and want to help him. It like feels good. But then it's like when it's coming from Ethan, who's like not the reason why this happened, but like could have stopped it but didn't. You get just like it makes the emotions like richer. It's like and instead of just being like, and now Ethan's just unilaterally an asshole. It's like, ooh, he's trying, but also that's not good enough.
Nope.
And that's more interesting, I feel.
Absolutely.
And so like I really enjoy that. Because like, there's a certain degree to which it's like we want Ethan to be a good guy. And so it's like he's being good in this moment, but it's also like, but only after we've already done this irreparable harm.
Yep. And he still kind of slips around the questions. Like, he takes some amount of responsibility, but
but he is also trying to, he tries to dodge it, and he only doesn't because Lyndon, makes him. He's he doesn't take the bait. He is going to go in for it, and when pushed, Ethan will admit it because he does know. But he would still rather just not. What if he just didn't talk about it? What if?
And he still thinks he's right too. So it's also like.
He doesn't want to have a hard conversation though. He's like, I do think that what I did was right. I'd do it again, but I do understand that this isn't the nicest thing to do. And if we could just maybe not have this conversation, which I feel is so real. It's very human.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so I really also enjoy. I feel like this is. Because that's the thing, I was making all these, not that I was, harsh, scathing critique, talking about, the structure and stuff, but I do feel like this has been my favorite so far, just for this, interpersonal drama that's, come up so far. I'm like, yes, this is what I've been wanting, I feel.
Yeah, it's good. And because then he goes on a whole other, rant about the Dread Gods and stuff. Because, I kind of I wanted to see how it, how he comes back to. Because, Lyndon asks, why did you, why did you have to push him? I just want to know it was worth it. And so, I want to come back to this Dread God stuff, but, the kind of conclusion is just, he's kind of talking about the Aurelius and how he kind of used all of this to
put them in a better position.
To raise the Aurelius up and stuff, including him
it's
and everything.
You'll be raised up with it because the whole family will be raised up. So really, this will be good for you if you kind of think about it.
It's he grimaced, looking uncertain for just a moment. I am sorry that you lost what you did. Only know that you are part of something greater. The Aurelius family will rise because of you, and you can only benefit from that. Lyndon nodded, but his gut was still a little twisted. He shouldn't be complaining about a lost arm. Back in Sacred Valley, if Ethan had offered to raise him to gold in exchange for a lost arm, he would have handed the man a saw himself. But this didn't feel like he'd sacrificed something for a greater goal. It felt like he had been a pawn in the plans of the powerful.
Yep, and that's so good. I love that little section right there is. I feel like it's just so good. I feel like it's some of I don't know. It really gives me a lot of faith in Will Wight as an author.
Yeah. His character dynamics are
Yeah, because it's the series has been it's been good, but it has been fairly simple. So far in a lot of ways. But not not in a bad way. But getting this I would have happily given it up for but I need to have agency in that. I need to know the stakes. I need to willingly sacrifice something rather than have it sacrificed for me for reasons I don't understand. If you could walk me through it and get me on your side beforehand, I'd do it. Feel you know what? I'm gonna get you to gold, but it's gonna cost you your arm. He's like,
Lyndon is
fine. I'll fucking take it. Hell yeah. But being it's
but being part of this whole
this
whole
scheme.
It's a whole scheme of Ethan pushing Jai Daisho to do something crazy in order to implicate the entire Jai clan, so that no matter what happened in the duel, whether Lyndon won or lost, the Aurelius family would still
suffer.
The Jai clan would still...
Yes. The Aurelius family will come out and the Jai clan would... Yeah.
And the Aurelius family will rise and stuff. Yeah. And it's
because it's not good. Because he knows that the duel is to death or incapacitation, but he knows already that Jai Long's not going to kill him if he doesn't have to, because all the stuff
with Jai
Chen has already happened and whatnot, and Ethan fucking knows. He knows everything.
He knows that he's not especially that Jai Long is not a fan of the Jai clan in general, and there's that on top of it.
So it's he already knows that stuff, but he's Lyndon could still lose, and that would be bad for the clan. And so I gotta have something to hurt the Jai clan. Beyond that. And, you know, which ends up being how things shake out. Yep. Lyndon does lose, but...
Yeah, but he probably should have, like, brought Lyndon in on a, like, backup plan for the family. You know? Like,
exactly.
Yeah. But I think partially he
yeah, it's just like he's playing this whole game. Yeah. And
he's always got his own plans and his own secrets going on.
When you play the game of houses, you lose an arm or you don't. I don't know. You win or you lose an arm. Yeah, it's, you know, we're reading Game of Thrones right now, and that's one of the things. It's like when you lords play your games, it's, you know, the innocent who get hurt the most. Yep. And then here we go with Lyndon losing the arm. Yep. So it's all just been very interesting. It's like it's been good seeing Ethan do something a little fucked up and have to like reckon with it, and like it's been good. I really enjoyed this chapter. It's a good one.
This whole bit is like one of my favorite bits here. Yeah. I did want to talk a little bit about the Dread Gods, because there's like a whole like Ethan goes into Dread Gods for Lyndon here. Like, what do you know about the Dread Gods? Are they like dread beasts? They're disasters. 4 monsters big enough to blot out the sky, hungry for destruction, and so powerful that the most advanced sacred artists in the world have to join forces to drive them off. None of the Dread Gods have ever been killed. They're sacred beasts, corrupted ones. Where did they come from? They're scattered all over the world. They burrow into a secure location and wait for decades, but when they wake up, they're hungry. Fortunately for humanity, no 2 have woken at the same time in centuries. But the last time they did, they destroyed the original Black Flame Empire, so the dragons.
Which I thought that they kind of like burned themselves out was what happened.
That was, I think, the Black Flame family, which was the human Black Flame Empire after the original Black Flame Empire, which was the dragons. That they were wiped out by an ominous disaster we heard a while ago. Right. So that would be
okay, gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense why I was confused about that.
Yes, because there's the original dragon Black Flame Empire, and then there's the human Black Flame family Black Flame Empire, and then that was taken over by the Naru clan, and it's the current Black Flame Empire. Yeah,
that's gotcha. Gotcha.
With no members of the actual Black Flame family.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But the original empire was ruled by dragons, not men. As they advanced as a culture, they began to study civilizations even older than theirs, and they stumbled on a vast underground complex. It was abandoned even then. It was so massive and so dangerous that not even the greatest of the dragons could map it fully. And so they're talking about like the labyrinth and everything, and that's where like Jidao went in, and like the door that they left open and everything. And talking about the door with the beasts on it, and that Lyndon had seen it back in his home. It's like,
just thinking about Elder Whisper again.
Yeah.
Just because he was, you know, because it's like, now we have, like, Orthos and stuff.
Yes.
Who were, like, bonded to, and sacred beasts in general, when they get, like, old enough and stuff, they become just, like, people. Yeah. And so I'm just thinking about Elder Whisper again. Just chilling. Playing God to these to this little village. Yep. In the Sacred Valley.
To these irons and, and mostly like coppers. Actually, it's mostly coppers, irons, and then jades.
Yep. And
which like, now we've been out for a little while. Like, that's wild. Like, everyone out here is gold. Like, low gold.
Yep. Yeah.
If you're an adult, you're a low gold.
It's wild.
Yep.
It's wild shit. and just like how at the end of the book, it's just like, he's just like not bound to that house at all.
No.
Just like...
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's just pretending. He's just out there fucking goofing on him.
He's just chilling.
It's hilarious.
He gets fish. He's just having a good time.
And then sometimes someone shows up and he just makes a bunch of himself to fuck with them. Just to, like, you know. And so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, is he gonna, like, bond with someone? What if he bonded with, like, Lyndon's sister or something? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Cause like, that was a thing that we haven't addressed at all since, like, the first book, is that school, the Heaven's Glory school, was gonna go fuck up Lyndon's clan.
Yeah.
So, like...
That was said, wasn't it?
So, like, you know, what's going on with that, huh? What's going on? What's going on with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like this is something that I remember you talking about while you were reading it, of being like, and there's this thing that they said, like, a long time ago, and it's just like, what's
happening?
What's happening? Yeah, I'm like, what if, like, his sister fucking hits Jade or some shit, and then is like, you know, having, like, fight these people, and she becomes, like, Jade, and then, like, makes a pact with fucking Elder Whisper, and becomes gold, and then everyone's like, gold!
First gold,
you know? Or maybe something else? I don't know. Just, like...
I love it.
Yeah, I'm just like, things could happen.
What's going on in Sacred Valley?
What's going on in Sacred Valley? Sacred Valley was cool and interesting.
And... We also have some people headed over that direction.
Yeah, who's doing that?
Jai Long. We'll get to it in this section. Jai Long and Jai Chen, it seems like they're heading over there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
To their cursed, Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was a whole thing. Because it's like, there's a future, or there was, like, a possibility that they could have just, like, gone and done that. Like, instead of
doing the whole,
yeah, because that's, like, presumably...
serial killer thing.
Yes, because wasn't that, like, part of the, like, in... Like in Suriel's, like, vision that she showed him, there was this, like, implication that maybe Jai Chen...
That was also mentioned.
Would have, like, made her way to Sacred Valley.
There's been a few different mentions of them going that direction, and then there's another one coming up.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah. So, yeah, maybe... Because Because then Jai Long just shows up and it's like, hello, I am now the strongest person for miles.
Right? Because he's, like, true gold.
Yeah, he's, like...
Just, like, come stomping into Sacred Valley.
He's, like, a third of the way to Underlord or something like that.
Also think about, like, Yaren's master.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, you don't know a ton about, like, sages, but, like,
no, but they're, like, stronger, and yet they were able to, like, kill him somehow.
We'll talk about that too. Yeah. We've got a lot to get to.
We do. We've actually spent, like, a long time.
We've been here a really long time.
On the first chapter.
There's some more. They were talking about the Dread Gods and the Labyrinth, and pushing Jai Daisho to do what he did. Talking about the Dread Gods. The Dread Gods, are they coming for us? Most likely not. But just in case the Emperor is gathering his underlords to him. Will you fight them? As an underlord? No, they could evaporate my blood from 100 miles away. We'll be working to keep the populace under control in a state of emergency. Should we see signs of a Dread God's approach, and we'll be messengers to the people who might actually help, the monarchs. They're the most powerful individuals in our world, though the best they could hope for would be a stalemate. None could fight against a Dread God alone. Not Shishethkanaz, not Akura Malice, not the 8-Man Empire, nor the entire 9-Cloud Court.
Yeah, because we know that the 8-Man Empire, that was part of Suriel's vision. And the 9-Cloud Court.
Yep, the 9-Cloud Court was also mentioned.
Yeah, and has...
I believe... Oh, I had it the first time. I'm so annoyed.
You did.
I'm so annoyed I had it the first time.
You had it when it counted.
There's a blooper joke of this later on, and it's fucking hilarious. It's one of my favorite bloopers.
Hell yeah. I'm excited, because you know the bloopers are one of my favorite bits of this.
Oh my god.
Because, like,
Seshethkanaz. There we go.
Yeah, Seshethkanaz.
Yes.
Because I already imagine that there's going to be some bloopers about, like, Lyndon losing his arm.
Yeah.
But I don't know what exactly it's going to be. Or it's going to be just, like, another, like...
he died.
Yes. And it's like, and then Jai Long killed him immediately, and then he died.
Yeah.
Just all the different places that, like, Lyndon rightfully should have died throughout the series.
Yeah, then we got some more names. Shamiara, the Queen of the 9-Cloud Court. North Strider, the Dragon Eater, and the 8-Man Empire. Yeah,
because North Strider we also heard about from Suriel's vision. And also, I was too busy making those jokes to talk about monarchs.
Yes.
Most powerful in the world, supposedly.
Yes.
So, presumably they're above Sage, but I'm still, like, I'm trying to figure out these rankings.
It seems like it. It's
one would imagine they're above Sage.
They're the highest in this, in the world.
Yeah, so one would imagine they're above Sage. And so it's like, alright, we've got Archlord is
Yep.
the highest we know, continuous.
Yep, yeah,
like,
yeah.
From
like in the lords.
Yes, like continuous from like Copper up to Archlord.
Yep.
And then past that, it's like Sage is somewhere,
Right.
Monarch is
Yep.
somewhere, and that's about it.
Yep.
As far as we know.
Yeah, we've also heard the term herald thrown around, and we hear it again in this section.
Yeah, we did hear Herald, and then we didn't hear Herald, and I was like, why aren't we hearing Herald anymore?
Where?
Because they're talking about like because Herald is mentioned. Herald.
Yeah.
when we were talking about like when the fucking Phoenix wakes up.
Yeah.
And all of it's
from
like
Jade
people,
to Herald.
From Jade to Herald. But then later when they're talking about Red Moon Hall or whatever.
Yes.
And the level of people that it has, they don't mention Herald at all.
Yes, they do. Yeah, and we'll get to that in the section with Ethan later, where they mention a bunch of people that they gotta worry about with Red Moon Hall. Yeah.
And they
don't mention a Herald.
They don't mention a Herald, which has me worried. Because if Herald is like a level, but they're not aware that there is one, they're gonna be underprepared. And that's not good.
Got you. Yeah.
So that's just been in my brain.
I love
We're
it.
getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, but like I've heard of those before. I would imagine so. They're very famous. The Monarchs.
Yeah. It's like, no, in a vision.
Yeah.
Suriel showed me.
Yeah, and then I love over the months he had scraped most of the details of Suriel's vision from Lyndon, all without giving up the details of his own vision.
Of course, because Ethan's a dick.
Yeah.
You little bitch, Ethan.
Yep, and he goes, speaking of visions, later, I lost an arm for your plans. I have earned your trust. And Ethan is, I owe you a full explanation, and I will give you one. The more you grow, the more I can share with you. For now, I beg you to trust me. And,
that's,
so there's still no answer.
Still no answer. And Ethan, that's a lot. You gotta understand, that's a lot to ask right now.
Yep.
To be like, you have to trust me after I lost this arm because of you.
Yep.
That's a lot to ask, Ethan.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, just the fact that he spoke honestly and like openly is Lyndon's like, okay, I'll stick with it for now.
Yeah. Yeah, part of me is like, there's gonna be some moment where we have to trust Ethan, but we can't because of all of his bullshit, and it's gonna come back to bite Ethan that like we don't trust him.
Yeah.
But we could get things sorted in a sense before that happens.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, Ethan, you're burning your trust. You're spending it.
Yep.
You gotta earn some back before you can spend some more.
Yep. Yes. So then the chapter ends with Lyndon asking like he wants to advance more or whatever, and Ethan's like, when I get back. And Lyndon's like, when will that be? That depends on whether or not there's a dread god coming to kill us all.
Yeah, and we know the answer to that one.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yep, and that's
the end of chapter 7.
Alrighty. Anything else we want to say?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. Chapter 8.
Yeah, so we're with Yaren. We're in her perspective, and she's on Sky's Mercy with Cassius and Orthos. And so we start off with like her sparring with Cassius. He's the second ranked high gold in the Empire, so she's getting some good like training in.
Yeah.
Because she's also a high gold. So she's like a new high gold. So
it's interesting because we spent so much time with Lyndon at like copper and iron and whatnot, where it's like now we're finally catching up to where everyone else is.
Yeah.
Like to where all the normal like adults are.
Yeah, because like Lyndon's now like low gold in both.
And Yaren is also
high gold.
Is high gold.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So like low gold and high gold. Yeah. And Cassius is true gold.
High gold.
Or he's also high gold.
He's just the second ranked high gold. So he's just like a real good.
And she's like fairly newly high gold.
Yeah.
But she's also just Yaren and really good.
She's still like pretty well in the rankings, but is still like a new high gold. And like I think the only one that's like above Cassius is his wife.
Right. Which you'll love to see it.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking about how like. In the previous chapter, when I was like thinking about how they have dragons, I'm like, I love that Lyndon, our hero, gets the turtle dragon.
Yeah.
Which is still, like, Orthos is super cool, and the fact that he's a turtle is also cool, but, like, it's less the, like, cool badass dragon that you, like, think of and expect.
But it's more similar to, like, Naruto's frogs, you know?
Yes.
Like...
But then Jai-Chen just gets, like, a straight up fucking summons dragons made of energy, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yep. It is so refreshing. I've been reading another series. That's fine. It's alright.
Yeah, you're talking about this.
It's alright. It's real sexist, though. Especially the first book. First book is bad. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think the first book needs to be rewritten. Mm-hmm. It gets better. Anyway.
Yeah, because you were like... you're talking about how the first book is, like... has like these like sexist problems and whatnot, but then like the next book like cuts it in like half and the next one cuts it way back again. It's just like, hey, we're getting
there. It was so refreshing reading like this, like Sanderson and like some other people. Mm-hmm. I've forgotten.
Right.
I feel like I didn't.
How bad it can.
Yep. I'm like, oh, right. Mm-hmm. I should really appreciate
the good female characters that you can find.
Yep.
Yeah, because like Yeren's so fun as
She's
like a
great.
character to like be in her head. It's, you know, it's like we were saying before, you just make Naruto a woman.
Yeah.
And it actually no.
As part of like I think like why he like wrote this series is like he like really likes like a lot of like anime and progression fantasy and stuff like that, and like shonen, and it like tends to not do great on the female characters, and he like kind of specifically went in wanting to write it with good female characters and just like not have those, you know. Yeah,
because it's like Yeren's really great as like, you know, because people argue about like, you know, there's the whole like strong female character thing and how people then got like annoyed because it's like just making a woman physically strong or capable or whatever isn't the same as making her like a good character.
Right. Yeah.
But like Yeren is both.
Yep.
Yeren is competent and strong, but also just like an actually like good and interesting character who is a character.
Yeah. She has her flaws. She's like hot-headed and you know like, but not in that like kind of annoying, you know.
Right. It's like she's an actual person who has like relationships. Well, she has like past relationships and current relationships, and past relationships inform her current relationships, and she is like hot-headed and good at fighting and stuff, but she also has a sense of humor, and she wants to like be friends with Lyndon, and you know, just like, and she's not like that rounded person. It's like because like she's afraid of being alone. Like a lot of times you like get this character type, and then they end up like just like pushing everyone away, and they are like that, just like that loner type or whatever. But like she really like craves people around her, and like, you know, like like she likes having people around, and likes, you know. It's like she actually like wants, like she can be a bit of that loner type, but it's more because she doesn't know how to actually like be with people. And she has trust issues, but she's like, she knows that, and she like kind of works on it, because she's like thought about it, how like she didn't like that kind of part of her master, like that was like a sticking point between them and stuff. She's like, because it's like he was wrong on that. He was like, oh, it's like only enough for like one person, and like you have to be alone. A path is only wide enough for one, and all that jazz. Because it's like she obviously cares a lot for him, and because he helped her through all of this stuff and whatnot. But also it's like there was always, I feel like, a distance between them that like he sort of cultivated. And because that's his like was his philosophy in general, right? Which makes for them to have like this interesting sort of past dynamic, and it's like, you know, because sometimes you can get like this character, especially when you come think about like this like quote strong female character archetype, where it's like, you know, she's married to the job, advancement and training and fighting, that's her life. But, like, there is still more to her than that. Like, she's super obsessed with it and focused on it for specific reasons. And even anyone who is like that, they still have something else going on. Like, because she still cares about people and wants to have a relationship with Lyndon. And just, like, you know, I don't think, like, a, you know, maybe it could be a relationship in that way. But, like, you know, just in the not, like, neutral sense. As of right now, it's, like... Right, just in the neutral sense, she wants to have a relationship with him. She wants to be friends with him and, like, have him around, and she wants to do the training and stuff, but wants to do it with him and with these other people, and like, make jokes and,
Yep.
be a person.
Yep.
She doesn't quite know how to be a person because her whole life has been training and fighting and stuff.
Yep.
All she knows how to do is throw herself into a fight and not grapple with her emotions.
Yep.
But, there's a full character there,
Yep.
and I really enjoy that.
And we get to see some of her motivations a little bit in this chapter. It's like while they're sparring and stuff, Cassius asks her so what is your goal? What do you want?
And she wants to be a sage.
Yep. No one pushes as hard as you do without a goal. Pardon me if I'm overstepping my bounds, but I'd like to know what destination you have in mind. To become a sage, she said. I wouldn't have thought you were so ambitious. Most sages don't take disciples. Not real ones, anyway. They don't want to pass on their path. My master trusted me, and now he's gone. I'm not letting his path go to waste.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that's a noble goal, an impressive one. I met a sage as a child back in my family's homeland. It was a humbling experience.
Yeah.
And but it took him centuries to reach that height.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's I don't know. Because we know that, you live longer when you do this.
Yeah.
We already knew that. And so it's I don't know, what are the levels? I want to know the levels.
Yeah.
I want to know what they are.
Yeah, it seems like Sage is a pretty big deal.
I imagine Sage is maybe right below Monarch.
Yeah.
But, nah. No, that wouldn't, no. Sage would be, right below Herald. Sage would be, right below Herald, and then it's Herald to Monarch, because, when they're listing, later, when they're, listing the people by level, they mention a Sage, but not the Herald.
Yeah.
So Herald would be, a step above Sage, presumably, and then you get Monarch above that, but I don't know still how high above that that would be. That's my guess right now.
I got you. I like it. Yeah, so she's kind of thinking about what she wants or whatever. It's thinking about because Cassie's it's just fighting day after day or whatever forever. And Yaren's I'm used to that or whatever. It's it often helps in a fight if you have something to fight for or whatever. Preserving her own life had always been enough to push Yaren along in fights. Should be enough for anybody. But that wasn't always the truth, was it? She wanted more than that. She'd come to think that advancing alone wasn't just boring; it was painful. Thinking about the Sword of Sage, and just about kind of what we were talking about. This is a lot of her kind of talking about that.
Yeah, and sort of thinking through that with Cassius.
Yep. And so then that whole conversation happens and stuff, and then Orthos comes out and is
upset about being in the sky.
that they're in the air, and they give him some this pill or something to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And because they're not sure if Lyndon's alive or not. It's Orthos feels some pain, but he's not sure if maybe Lyndon died, and Orthos also scared that if he's not connected to Lyndon, then he's gonna go crazy again. So it's there's all that.
Yeah.
And so then as they're heading back, just in the middle of flying, her blood shadow comes out from untied and starts attacking.
Yeah. and that's not good.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad, actually.
Yep. Yeah, that quickly, the knot tied behind her slipped free. The seal her master had left for her was gone. No warning.
Yeah, just boop.
Yep. Yeah, so it tries to bury into her core to take her over. And then when it can't do that, it starts lashing out at Cassius.
Right.
And so then as soon as the blood leaves his body, then a blood spawn spawns and attacks. So then it's a whole mess. We're not gonna go blow by blow through the whole thing.
But we get a whole fight that leads into a plane crash.
Yes, yeah. And so Yaren grabs Cassius and jumps out eventually. And stuff, but it's a good fight and stuff. But we're not gonna go super into it.
Shit definitely pops off and goes crazy.
Yeah,
it's everything's cool, and then suddenly it's everything's not cool. Everything's really bad.
Yep. And Yaren's just trying to hold it back the whole time, and it's
because she is just as soon as it starts trying to attack Cassius, she tries to jump on it.
Yeah, so she's trying to hold it back the whole time, but it's
Yeah.
So it's a whole craziness.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole craziness, and we end up getting the plane is crashing, and so we get near a mountain to jump off onto it from less high.
Yep. Yeah, so they do that. And then it changes perspective, and we see, like, an attack, from the perspective of a Skysworn, just, like, random agent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's, like, watching out, like, from the edge of this village. It's like,
Because this right here is exactly a fucking Song of Ice and Fire prologue. This is the fucking prologue to a Game of Thrones. We get to see a random person see the bad magic shit happening and die because of it.
Yeah.
Which is just exactly the fucking Game of Thrones opening.
Yep.
Yeah,
so we see that, and he's like he's on a 1,000-mile cloud, like watching all of this, and he's like,
I gotta fucking get...
He's like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. I gotta get out of here and get this info to someone.
Yeah, so he he tries to send a message, and it just sends like a warning. It doesn't send the full message or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And then he has to like go to like deliver the full message.
Right.
And as he's leaving, he like sees someone like long hair, like all like blood. Let me see if I can find his description.
I'm curious to see more of that comic now. That, like, recap comic now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a little bit farther along.
As he flew away, he spotted someone standing on the outer wall, a young man with utterly pale skin and black hair that fell down almost to his waist. Even among the brutal scenes below, he stood out. He looked like a little over 18. The young man wasn't watching the fighting around him. His eyes were calm and on the sky, watching Ren. And then he uses, like, a ruler, like, it says a blood ruler technique. To like,
it's so funny.
Hurts his like heart or whatever.
Yeah.
And like stabs at him basically.
Anytime that I hear ruler, I think of like the measuring device.
Oh,
which is funny to me.
Yeah.
It's like a blood ruler.
It's
just a ruler made out of blood.
Yeah, so his he has a script in his armor that like stops the technique from like killing him, and then he like tries to keep running away, and then he gets like stabbed by that guy.
Yeah.
And
It's very bad.
Then he's gone.
Things are not going well.
Yep. And so then we go back to Lyndon, and he heard the crash and is like, what
the fuck
happened? And like ran out, and he only has one arm.
Yeah.
And like he's got like a script like sealing off the pain or whatever, like similar to what his mom used back like in the first book.
Right. Yeah.
And so
Which is
he
so
like
fun.
Yeah.
Just a little callback.
Yep. So then he, like, sees Yaren and her, like, blood shadow, like, all over her. And, like, because it's, like, acting weird. It's not, like, tied. It's just, like, kind of moving around her. And he assumes Cassius is dead. He, like, looks over him and he's like, Cassius's corpse is there.
Yes, right. Because I was fucking listening to the audiobook and it says Cassius's corpse. And I'm like, no.
I did the same thing.
I was like, no. Because it's like Cassius is just secondary enough for him to, like, die here, and it's still, like, a major bummer. And, like, it would feel, like, a little unsatisfying, but it's like...
But
it could happen. It could just happen, but then he doesn't die, and I'm like, yay! I liked him. I'm glad that he's still around. He really fucking got me there, because it's like, you can fake me out, like, because we're in Lyndon's perspective. He thinks
he just assumed that
he's dead, and we can just get that directly, because there's times in, like manga or anime or something where a character looks like they're dead, but then like, and they're like, oh, he's dead, but then it's like, oh no, he wasn't actually dead, but like, because you're in a book and you're so much more directly in someone's perspective, as opposed to like
it's easier than just seeing it from like a detached like
from a detached sort of third person like camera perspective, where like these characters are saying things. And, like, unless you do the work to establish that these people can be, like, unreliable about that sort of thing, you just kind of assume that what they're saying is true. But when you're, like, in a character's perspective, there's an innate sort of sense of, like, you're only getting their perspective.
Right, so you know it could be
So you know
biased.
that it could be biased.
Yeah.
You know, it is a little bit of, like, narration being, like, his corpse.
Yep.
But, we're in Lyndon's head, and we already know that, like... Because, like, when we're in Yaren's head, the narration sounds more like Yaren's voice and stuff, so it's just, you know how it is.
Yeah, it's like, he didn't need to check for a pulse. The man was covered in wounds, soaked in blood. No one could. Cassius stirred. So it's like, it doesn't last very long either. It's just, like...
And as soon as I start, like, doing that, it's a little bit, like, it becomes a little bit of a joke, a little bit, like, poking at you. But, like, ooh, you got me.
Yeah.
You fucking got me, my dude. And that's mean. That's rude.
It's rude. Yeah, so Cassius, like, sits up, and, like, Lyndon was, like, heading for Yaren to, like, make sure, like, she was okay. And Cassius, like, no, don't go anywhere near her.
Yeah.
She's dangerous.
Yeah, shit's not going well right now.
Yeah, and so then Ethan, he is looking at the red light that is coming steadily from the other direction.
Yeah.
And they're like, Ethan, can you help us with this? And so then instead he stood at the very edge of the cliff, staring at the red light in the distance. Wind tugged at Ethan's hair, and for once he wore no smile. He stared into the red light like a man contemplating the approach of an advancing army. Her blood shadow has awakened. It's no wonder, considering what's coming. And then Cassie's like, we should remove it. Like, I don't even know why you have it on there or whatever. I can't imagine what you were thinking. No, you can't. And then Ethan goes up to Yaren. So he's not removing it for a reason.
Right. And I think that, like I said to you when this was happening, I'm like, Ethan, are you using her blood shadow as a means of motivating her to, like, advance more?
Yeah.
Like, oh, gotta say it. Like,
you gotta do it.
Oh, gotta stay ahead of the thing or it'll get you.
Yep.
Even though you could have sealed it all along.
Yep.
And also maybe could, like, fully remove it but aren't doing that. Ethan, are you continuing to be an asshole?
Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah. So
he knows because he fucking knows everything.
Yeah. So then he, like, seals it back up. He, like, cuts, like, himself a little bit and, like, uses that blood and somehow ends up, like, sealing it in Yaren. So it's not, like, out like a belt like it has been. But it's still in her.
Yes. But it's been, like, sealed almost, like, in her core or something.
Yeah. I don't think in her core because it's, like, not, like, possessing her, but, like...
No, but my alarm again. Becoming an unfortunate recurring part of the, the recording process. The tiny little snippet of that One Piece opening. Not, like, in her core, necessarily, but, later when they're, like, scanning her.
Yeah, but, like, with her, like, Madra.
Yeah, you know, it's, like, when they, like, scan her later, they, like, think that she's got, like, sword and blood.
Yeah.
But really she's just sword, but then the blood is coming from that.
Yeah.
So it's, like, it's not... So that's kind of why I think, like, in her core.
Yeah.
Because it's not, like, taking her over, but so, like, in her sort of system.
Yeah. So then he, like, seals that up. Yeah, he, like, writes in, like, Soulfire to, like, do the seal or whatever.
Interesting.
And then the red rope crumbled away. And then she, like, sits up and is like, what happened? Somebody find the ox that trampled me. And Nathan goes, you'll feel worse in a moment. Battle is upon us. And then the red light swallowed them all.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yep, things are happening.
Yep.
This is, you know, again, inciting incident. For perhaps the start of a different book, you know. If you were to do it a little differently.
Yeah.
But yep, so that's chapter 8.
Yeah.
Chapter 9.
The red light's covering everything.
Yes.
And it's, it was as though the sun had turned red. Even in Lyndon's copper sight, everything was dyed crimson. His stomach heaved and bile rose in his throat. It felt like being submerged in a pool of blood. So,
It feels, in some sense, almost like the opposite of that, like, transcendent runes come up and suck up all of the vital aura. It's just like a whole bunch of, like, blood aura everywhere. Yep. Just fucking bathed in the light of blood aura.
So everywhere that red light is, the blood, if it comes off of your skin, it starts making these blood spawn creatures.
Yeah.
And they like kind of take, like, whatever, like, type of Madra or whatever you use.
Yeah, they kind of use
that.
It. Yeah, because, like, earlier, whenever that dude was seeing the blood spawn...
Yeah, it was, like, all, like, leaves and vines and, like...
Yeah, because that's what all the people who were being killed, like, their blood, they were using leaf.
Yeah, and Yaren's is, like, sword, like, it just, like, slices people up. So, like, sliced Cassius up.
Yeah, so really don't want that to fucking hit Lyndon.
Yeah.
And just start fucking black flaming everywhere.
Yeah, so then a bunch of the Bloodspawn come up, and Ethan just, like, takes care of all of them, like, no problem, whatever. It's talking about, like, these are Bloodspawn, they're the least of the Bleeding Phoenix creations. the bleeding phoenix from Gesha. She's like real freaked out because yeah, that's a lot.
Kind of sound like you said Kesha.
Yeah. It's like, what happened here, Ethan? Jidai opened a door he should not have. Someone noticed. Dread gods.
Yeah.
And then when it's still blood spawn rise from the spilled blood. When it's still inside you or on your skin, your Madra has control. The phoenix power can't do anything until it leaves the influence of your spirit, unless the phoenix itself rises.
Right.
A dread god doesn't care for the protection of your meager spirit. This isn't its full attention, just the side effect of its awakening.
I had a thing earlier that I was like...
that you were thinking about? Yeah.
Yes. It actually wasn't related to Yeren. I thought it was related to Yeren. It's the Archstone.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about the Archstone a little bit. Mm-hmm. One, because the way that the Jidai show describes it reminds me of, like, the Hunger Madra.
Yep.
But also, it was in the Lord section.
Yeah.
But it's an Archstone. And
yeah.
we know that there's Archlords.
We do.
And basically it just, like, absorbs a shit ton of Madra.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this supposed to be for Archlords?
Right.
I'm like, is this the stone that's supposed to help you become an Archlord?
Got you, yeah.
You know? By, like,
absorbing.
You know, much in the way that, like, with gold, you, like, make a space for, like, either a remnant or... like binding,
or like something to bring enough power in.
If like you need to once again just bring enough power in, for that like last step, and so the Archstone is maybe for that purpose of just absorbing a whole bunch of Madra into you at once in order to get you that like boost up. Or it could just be something for Archlords to use to just like it's
scoop up.
Kind of an upgraded form of the same concept of the like
the hunger spear,
the ancestral spear and whatnot. So talking about Jidai Show getting something in it, rousing the Phoenix reminded me that that's a thing that I was thinking about. Just thinking about Archstone and Archlord, I'm like, is that related?
Yeah.
I don't we necessarily like go into it, but just thinking about like what maybe Archlord means.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like all the theories.
Because you gotta make another... Because it's like you had to make space for the power.
For like soul space, you mean?
Yeah, well, it's like when they were talking about gold, it's like, you gotta make the space to like take a remnant or form a thing or get enough power, and so I'm like, now you gotta make a soul space as an Underlord, so I'm like, do you eventually have to fill that with something in order to like become an Archlord or an Overlord or whatever the, because I know the Overlord then Archlord, but I'm like, it's like you gotta fill your soul space with something for one of those steps. Thinking about it.
Yeah, I like it.
That's all. Just a little aside. Back to our the actual plot.
Yeah. So they're all there's blood spawn everywhere, and they're trying to like figure out like we gotta get out of here. Ethan's like we can't yet.
we gotta go fucking warn people because it's like we were like, oh, maybe a dread god will be coming, but we don't know for sure, and now we like know for sure, so like it's panic time.
And also Jai Long and Jai Chen are still down there, and like we should get them out, and then Ethan's like, but we got enemies coming anyway, so like that's how it is. It's like, better than sitting here. Don't worry, they've come to us. And then the guy who killed the guy in the previous chapter, the young guy with long hair and all that. He's standing on a rising tide of blood, as he like comes up. He comes straight up to Ethan, an emissary of Red Moon Hall, if I'm not mistaken. And he's like, trying to like talk to him or whatever. His voice was cheery, but he still wore no smile. I am Longhook, the emissary said. Longhook, is it? You can call me Tiny Scissors. Longhook didn't seem to appreciate the joke. And Ethan's like, what does your master want? And Longhook says, north. He wants the treasure in the north. By all means, go around us. And like Lyndon's like, why is he trying to make a deal with him? And then he like scans, like Ethan often preferred to talk away around his problems. why didn't he knock this newcomer off the mountain? And then he, like, scanned him, and realized he's also an Underlord.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, a piece of the treasure here. And then Ethan's like, I think we can come to an agreement, and halfway through that sentence, he starts attacking, and then they start fighting.
Yep, and then it's big old fight time.
Yep. And, yeah, they keep going. And he's like, he uses, like, an extended, he has, like, a hook, and it's extended on, like, this, like rope of blood, basically. And he uses, blood in his attacks and all of that.
As one would imagine.
Yep.
From the Bleeding Phoenix.
Yep. Yeah, but he's got this, like, hook whip that he uses. As Long Hook, I feel like, is pretty...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's Long Hook, Ethan's tiny scissors.
Exactly. And I love Lyndon's thoughts. He had started to think of Jai Long as close to Ethan's level, but the first step towards Underlord was nothing compared to the real thing. And he's, like, watching the fight, and it's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, oh boy, this shit's fucking popping off. Because we haven't really seen, like... Because when Ethan had to fight Jai Daisho, in the previous book, he did pretty well with that.
Yeah.
He didn't have too much trouble with that, but this is actually, like, more, like...
They were all, like, true golds, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but then, like, Jai Daisho was still, like, Underlord as well.
Yeah.
But, he was also, kind of dying.
Yeah.
I mean, not, as dying as he was by this point, but, like...
But Ethan was obviously...
able to beat him. And also, I feel like Jai Daisho was, like, underestimating him and stuff, at least at first, while Long Hook
because
here...
Ethan purposefully wants to be underestimated.
Yes, while Long Hook here is just, like, not on that same wavelength.
Yeah.
He's just, like, a weird, blood man. He's an emissary of the Bleeding Phoenix. He's not part of the, like, politics of this. He doesn't know who Ethan is. It's just like, Underlord.
Yep,
let's go. And Ethan's gotta be like, oh boy.
He's like, all right.
Let's go then, I guess. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so then they're fighting, and then we see Yaren, and she's not doing very well. She's seeing all the blood spawn around, and she's like, not again. This is horrible. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
And then, honestly, what snaps her out is realizing that Lyndon has lost an arm.
Yes.
And
she's like, oh no, your arm.
Yep, she's like panicking and all of that, and then he's like trying to steady her or whatever, and she's like, your arm.
Yeah. And
he goes, better than my life, isn't it? Doesn't make it smiles and rainbows just because you lived. Heavens no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And in mortal danger they may have been, but her sympathy warmed him, even though even as it caught him unprepared. He thought she would say he should just bear it and stop complaining. I've been down that road. And she shows a bunch of scars. Lost both of them, to tell you true. And chunks out of both legs, so they hung there, useless as rust on a blade. It's no joke. Nothing worse than an itch on a limb you've already lost.
Yeah, and he's just like, what?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Excuse me?
Yeah, and Lyndon's like, how'd you get it back? Master had a pill for everything. He could regrow a limb faster than a flower. Expensive, though, so he always made me work for it.
Yeah. Which is like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like, she's lost an arm. It's like, alright, you gotta earn the arm back. How did she lose the arms in the first place?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Mr. teaching her the sword path? Fucking...
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
she's not had an easy life.
Yes. There's something so funny, though. Like, I don't know, there's something really funny to me about it.
Yeah.
This idea of, like, like, Lyndon expects her to be like, suck it up.
Yep.
Quit complaining, it happens. And instead she's like, yeah, that sucks. It happens. It's like, yeah, I remember when I lost an arm.
Yep.
And it does suck. And he's like, wait, what do you mean when you lost an arm?
Yep.
I don't know. Something about it really is funny to me.
Yeah.
That she's just like, oh no, I know. I've lost an arm. More than once even.
Yeah.
Just like, and so they're just like, wait, so like, you can just grow an arm back? But
so we have the right stuff, apparently.
We have the right stuff, apparently, but we do not have the right stuff right now. Yep. So, like, yeah, that was sage level shit.
Yep.
We're not there. And in fact, in this set of chapters, we learn that, we're smaller fish.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited to get to some of that.
Continuous series of larger fish.
Yes. Yeah, we get to see a little bit more of the rest of, of everything.
Yeah, and we don't even get to, like, see it yet, just hear about it.
Hear a little bit of it. Yeah. Yeah, so then she starts, like, Lyndon starts asking about, like, the blood spawn, and she's like, yeah, I've seen this before. She's like, I guess it's time to talk about it, and then she realizes her belt is gone, and she starts freaking out. She's like, where did it go? It can't have just run off. And then she's like, okay, it's still there. Oh, that sucks, but okay, it's still there. And she's like, someone bottled it up, Ethan? And so, like, they, Yeah. So then they see, like, a whole another wave of a whole bunch more blood shadows, like, coming up. Mainly from Ethan and Longhook's fight. Yeah. All that blood has created a whole bunch more blood spawn, and they're everywhere. Yeah. And so they need to move, and so they gotta get out of there.
Do we see any, like, blood spawn that come from Ethan bleeding? Considering that they tend to, like, be different depending on the Madra, and he's got pure Madra. I'm just curious what, like...
I think there's kind of... So there's some of them, there's a bunch of different types. So some of them looked like gnarled trees, others like clouds of gas, still others like a massive jagged crystals.
But we don't get anything, like, specific about, like, any that might have come from Ethan or something.
I don't think so, but I might be able to check in another section.
Yeah.
But Lyndon also, he's able to, like, fight them with his pure Madra, but he had to, like, change it so he could use it with his left hand.
Right, yeah.
And so he, like, blasts them apart with Empty Palm.
Empty Palm, woo!
Yeah, and it works real well on these blood spawn.
Yeah, because they're super Madra based.
Yeah, they're just like all Madra basically. They're trying to, like, they're basically just trying to get their stuff and get out. And as they're trying to leave, Ethan crashes through the ceiling with a hook in his shoulder.
Yeah.
And, like, that's all happening. And Ethan's like, with the hook in his shoulder, he's like, it's not too late for you to surrender. He's pulling the hook out of his shoulder.
Oh, Ethan.
Yeah. But then he... like, fight continues, and then a giant cloud comes over the like ceiling, and
oh yes, yeah. It's like Narugwe.
I believe it's it's Narugwe. Couldn't remember which. Yeah,
I remember from your little notes.
Yeah, so then Narugwe comes smashing down, and he's like, you're under arrest, and he's like, I'm out of here, and so he runs off, and, like, he uses, like, a blood ruler technique to, like, try and get out of there, and ends up, like, because he has, like, some friends nearby, so he ends up escaping, and Narugwe's like, you're coming with me, Ethan, we got stuff to do, the Emperor's calling on you, you got, 15 minutes, and, like, you gotta, like, we're all leaving, or whatever, get your stuff, and you
get
gotta
your stuff and get out of here.
Yep, and so they go and... They go and grab their stuff, and then we switch perspectives because they're also gonna warn Jai Chen and Jai Long before they leave.
Yep, so we cut over to them.
Yep, so we, like, see this from their perspective, and they're so confused. They don't know what Bloodspawn is at all. They don't know that a Dread God, they don't know anything. They're just like...
Shit's just suddenly crazy.
Yep.
Suddenly blood monsters are everywhere. Yep. What the fuck is up with that?
Like, so, like, Jai Long feels, because he can feel them fighting, or whatever.
Something's going on.
He's like, there's two Underlords fighting, and also there's blood stuff everywhere. What's happening?
Yeah. And so Jai Long's just fighting all these things.
Yep. And Jai Chen's trying to, like, do a technique or whatever with her new, like, Madra, and so she makes, like, a dragon thing that, like, runs over a bunch of the blood spawn, and that also works really well. Yeah,
that's cool. She just, like, summons spirit dragons. Yeah. Which is great.
So, because there's more of the blood spawn, so some of these might be from them as well. They'd run into 14 of these since they'd sensed the Underlords fighting above them and decided to run. Remnants, perhaps? If so, where were so many of them coming from? And it's, like, Ethan Aurelius promised them safety, but, like, Jai Long doesn't trust them, like, at all, and so he, like, wants to run off on their own, and so they're just trying to, like, figure out what the red light is, what any of this is, like, maybe it's, like, a weapon of some sort. Right. And Jai Chen uses her dragon.
Yeah, I'm excited to get more of Jai Chen and her path and her, like, dragon stuff. I'm with Ethan on that. It's very, like, interesting.
So then they get rid of some of these like blood spawn, and then there was still a long way to go before he escaped. When he sensed something behind him, it was Wei Shi Linden. And so then it's like, oh, he looks like
you gotta get out of here.
Yep. And Linden goes, it's like, oh, the Skysworn are here, you can come out that way. And he's like, oh, we don't trust them, we don't trust, like, any of that, we'll go out a different way. And then Linden's like, yeah, I thought you'd say that. Well, here's a way that's not surrounded by blood spawn or whatever, so go that way. And so then he goes, he's like, don't worry, the Skysworn aren't looking for you, they got bigger problems. And he goes, please accept my gratitude for your mercy.
Yeah.
You could have killed me, so I appreciate your restraint. Forgive me, but I hope you'll make it far from here.
Yeah.
And he says, so then Jai Chen, because Jai Long's not going to say where they're going at all. And then Jai Chen pipes up and goes, we're going to the very outskirts of Imperial territory. People there have forgotten about the Empire. Sounds like it's for the best.
And he doesn't even know that she's talking about going back to his home. Because it's like, what she's saying...
No one goes there.
Yeah, because it's like, what she's saying is true.
Yeah.
And also, it's not like, she doesn't know the term Sacred Valley.
No one does.
And so it's just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna be on the outskirts of the Empire, just kind of letting him know. But like, it's a little bit more. Because it's like, wait a minute. I know that place.
Right.
We don't exactly have time to sit here and get into there's this valley and it's supposed to be cursed and protecting the people. It's like, a valley, you say, on the outskirts? Yeah.
Yes, and there's, I hope the heavens will allow us to meet again. Maybe they will. And Little Blue waves to Jai Chen. And all that. And Jai Long is like obsessively checking over like the pack that Linden gave him. Was like, is there any traps in here? All that. So then even if Wei Shi Linden really had helped them out of goodwill, they had quite a journey ahead of them. Their cursed valley was little more than legend, though evidence suggested it did exist somewhere in the west. If nothing else, they could find a peaceful place for Jai Chen to grow familiar with her new spirit.
Yep. So they're heading off to Sacred Valley, and what's gonna fucking happen? Yeah. Chapter 10.
Yeah, so we are with at the Skysworn headquarters.
Yes.
At what's called Stormrock. So it's like this big city.
My
huge
favorite genre of rock. Huge city in the sky.
Yeah, and Linden says it looks like it matched the image Linden had of a Dark Lord's stronghold.
Yeah, because it's all very dark.
Yeah.
Like all the buildings are black or something. Or not necessarily.
Yeah, they're like dark. Yep, so then they're like going down the city or whatever, and they're like, Linden expects them to be like, to stand out, but like they don't, because there's like a bunch of people on like every other path, like all around. I think there's a reference to one of Will Wight's other series. It's not like a character from there, but like it's a reference. It has to be. There's this little, like, if you know the Traveler's Gate series, it's it's like a pack of fiery dogs passed through the middle of the street following their leader, who had a golden crown on his head. They were conversing in quite ordinary human speech about which of them should guard their territory that night. There's a whole thing, like, the magic in that is, like, territories and, like, there's, like, different beasts, like, summons and, like, stuff like that from those territories. It's a reference. It's a reference.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever I hear Traveler's Gate, I think of Dragon Warrior Monster. Because I played Dragon Warrior Monster growing up, or Dragon Quest Monster if you're a weeb about it. Because
Dragon Quest?
Yes.
So I know of it as Dragon Quest.
Yes, because it's like because it was like when it came over here, it came Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
And so there was Dragon Quest Monsters, or Dragon Warrior Monsters as I knew it growing up, for the Game Boy Advance.
Gotcha.
Well, actually, I think you can do it on the Game Boy Advance, but it's like, doesn't matter. Not important. Yeah. But you go and you get, because like in Dragon Warrior you fight monsters, but in Dragon Warrior Monster you're a monster tamer, and so you go and you like fight monsters with your monsters, and so you go through these gates called Traveler's Gates.
Got you.
They go to these areas that have monsters that you then go and like recruit and use to fight.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's not too...
So the idea...
It's got a similar...
Yeah, so the idea
vibes.
that you, like, summon monsters from particular territories, and it's called Traveler's Gate, kind of reminds me...
Yeah, you either summon, like, monsters or power, kind of depending on the you know...
Yeah, so I could see it sort of, like, being an inspiration and not necessarily, like...
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing Dragon Warrior Monster, but sort of, like, that's, like, a bit of a starting point.
Yeah.
At least in some sense. But also, you know, summoning monsters and stuff and other things.
Yeah, I could see that, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, you know, that's normal fantasy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're, like, going through Stormrock or whatever, and, like, Lyndon's looking through the whole, like, city, and it's, like, it's got, like, millions of people in it. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's, like, home to almost 2 million people when it needs to be. 5,000 are, like, Skysworn or trainees. The rest are, like, the families or, like merchants, like, everything the whole place is self-sufficient. They've got, like, food, you know, like, all the shops, everything.
Yeah.
They've got, like, the Red Flower family has their, like, emergency headquarters there. They have, like, a huge presence there who, like, they do the food for the Empire, in general. So, yeah, we're just, like, talking a bit about, Stormrock, and then, we also get a little bit of Orthos is irritated because he woke up and he's again in the sky, but he's not as upset because he can't quite tell because it's a big enough area.
Yes, it just sort of feels like you're on land as opposed to being in a ship because it's a city in the sky.
Yeah, and as they're going through, they go over, like, some of the, like, second ranked this and fourth ranked, you know, like some of that's fun.
I do enjoy Sky City as a concept.
Yeah.
I once had a sort of, like, world concept, like a world building concept thing of just, like, everyone exists in sky ships in the sky, and I find that very appealing.
Yeah, and it's like
Being
second
up in
ring.
the clouds.
Yeah.
So Skypiea was cool.
Yeah, I like all the sky stuff like that. And it's like with all the rankings or whatever. Second ranked soulsmith in the city, available for commissions. Ranked number 1 of all mixed bowls in the city, vegetable only category. Just like all of that type of stuff. Those type of, like, signage everywhere. Just like more of, like, the Empire, you know, like all of the ranking, everything.
That suddenly the mixed bowl thing. There was, like, this place back in Alabama, where I'm from originally. There's this place called Magellan's that was, like, they did, like, these little bowls with like rice and, like, veggies and meat and stuff, and it's like, you know, you go down the line and they and like you choose the things and then they, like, make it for you. And I feel like there's, like, a name for that, but, like, you've talked...
Yeah, like Mongolian barbecue, like that type of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
We would do some of that.
And it was called Magellan's, and I fucking love that place. And so suddenly the mixed bowl
Yep.
made me think of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that was good.
Yeah, so it's like as they're going through the city, like Lyndon notices like everyone's a little like worried and nervous and like asking like Renfei and Byro as they're like coming through, like they're like coming up to talk and also like a little uneasy, like the red light and the dreadnought and what's happening and like they're and like they hear that there's more recruiting happening and all that type of stuff is going on, and
which that seems fast. So that seems fast
for recruiting.
Yeah, like word spread.
So they talked about like they started recruiting a few weeks ago because their dream people said that they should be recruiting more.
Gotcha.
Because like something was coming up or whatever. So they've been
I forget that's like a thing.
Yeah, so they've been doing a bunch more recruiting. Like
I want to know about that. How does that work?
Yeah.
How because like Elder Whisper could see the future, kind of.
He had some... Yeah.
That has something to do with, like, dream?
Yeah, and we also...
Madra or something?
Yeah. And we also had, like, Jedi Show said that he, like, consulted oracles before he went and stuff like that. So, like, it's absolutely something that's part of their...
Yeah, it's like something that's a thing. I'm like, what? How does that work?
Yeah.
What are the mechanics of that in this world?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What kind of fucking observation hockey is that?
Yeah, so then Renfei is like showing them around like, oh, this is what we've got or whatever, and like talking about like the amenities, like if you're like a part of the Skysworn or whatever, like what they have. And so they have the Soulsmith's Foundry, state of the art. We have the most we have the most complete Dream Tablet library of Soulsmith legacies in the entire Empire, including one left by an ancient herald for his descendants. Fisher Gesha's breath caught. Lyndon wasn't sure what half that meant, but he was still aching to look inside.
Yeah, because that's just sort of like second reference to Herald as a advancement level.
Yeah, complete Dream Tablet library of Soulsmith legacies, including one left by an ancient herald.
Yeah, that all makes sense. That all tracks except for Herald, because like we already know about like Dream Tablets and soulsmithing, and so yeah. Talking about like the weapons that were made there and everything, and then like their technique library, it's more extensive than our Soulsmith library, but it's only ranked 3rd. Soulsmith tablets being so rare, they're past that only exist here in the city. So like Lyndon's like, ooh, I want to look at all this stuff. Yes,
like the foundry and like the technique library, all of that. We've got like cycling rooms and like all this type of stuff, and like talking about recruiting. 20 years of age. 20 years of age or younger for low golds, 30 years or younger for high golds, and they have to be ranked highly enough. Top 1,000 for high golds, top 3,000 for low golds, and they have to pass the application process.
Right.
And so then Lyndon's like, I'm not ranked, and they're like, yes, you are. Everyone's ranked. And so he's like, what am I ranked then? And after your duel with Jai Long, you are ranked 24th among low golds, which I guess good.
Pretty good.
Like it's really good. And so he's excited. I don't mean to overstep myself, but that sounds high. Too high, Byro grunted. It's high, Renbei confirmed. Forgive me if this is a rude question, but when our most Skysworn ranked, he had really wanted to ask them what their ranks had been when they were low golds. And from the look on Renbei's face, she knew it. Lower than that.
But then, of course, he has the most Lyndon response to this possible, which when they're like, do you know what that means, being the 20...
Yeah,
was it 24th?
Yeah, 24th. Yeah, because in the conversation with Fisher Gesha...
It's like, do you know what that means, being 24th ranked low gold? That there's 23 above me?
Yep.
Of course, that's how he thinks of it.
Yep.
Which,
like,
I mean...
He feels proud of himself, and then he also feels, but there's 23 more than me.
But there's 23 more above me.
Yep.
And the thing is that I'm like, Lyndon, that is technically true. Like, that is true, and you don't know how many are below you. You don't have that number, but you do have the number that are above you. By your placing, you know how many are above you, not how many are below you. Which is, not intentional, but is interesting just about how the system kind of ends up working. Because they don't say out of however many, they just tell you your number. And so it's like, how many are below you?
Right. Just like however many are like in the Empire, like...
Yep. and you can consult the census.
Like, or look at the full rankings, like see how many, like...
Yeah.
So then they ask about like Red Moon Hall and get some information on that. And so it's just like they're like the cult of a dread god talking about that because
it's like some of them. Is this where they talk a little bit about how like some of them get like the blood shadow and can control it and other ones can't?
Yeah, they like start to talk about it. They go into it a little bit more in Ethan's bit. They're betting that they can control it, but 9 out of 10 can't. Those are just puppets, little better than Bloodspawn themselves. The ones who can control it, they're the ones to watch out for. They're still in the thrall of the Phoenix, but they have their own goals as well. What is it they want? To feed their master.
Right.
So then they're...
And that gives some sort of sense of, like, what Yaren's deal is with it,
Yeah. So then they're, like, sent to their, like, rooms or whatever. Like, they're gonna, like, look over the injured people. And Lyndon goes to talk to Yaren.
Yep.
About all of the Blood Shadow stuff.
Yeah.
So he finally gets her whole story.
Yes, because he had been sort of politely not asking about it. Clearly you don't want to talk about your uninvited guest, so we're just gonna not. But now it's become relevant, so we really need to talk about it.
Yeah, and first, Yaren's like, I can't all be underlords. You don't find an underlord ever under every rock, because she's trying to, like, I want to go fight, or whatever. They can't all be underlords.
The like, Red Moon Hall and all that.
Yeah. It's like, they're from outside the Empire. Maybe from where they're from, everyone's an underlord. And Yaren's like, that's not how it is. I've traveled a whole bunch. That's not how it is. Lyndon's like, I don't know.
It's like, listen, gold didn't even exist.
like, I already...
That happened to me once. That's a really funny way of putting it.
It's like,
Because also, it's like, in a sense, we know, because, like, in fucking serials...
Yeah.
Like, in, like, the Abaddon Court, everyone is... I mean, I don't know where exactly they said, but, like, Suriel can, and, like, I know that Suriel and Makia and them are, like, special.
Yeah.
They're, like, the biggest of the big, but, like, the Abaddon Court in general...
Are, like, I mean, way powerful than, like, more than,
So it's, like, there is another layer in which everyone is just sort of blanketly more powerful, kind of like how everyone's just, like, everyone's goal here. Maybe where they're from, everyone's Underlord.
Yeah, like, that makes sense for Lyndon. Absolutely.
Yep, and even from our perspective, it's like, I mean, you know, you can have a place where everyone is even higher than that.
Yep.
But they, like, because isn't there something about how, like, Red Moon Hall has, like, the highest concentration of, like, Underlords anywhere or something, or just, like, they have a higher concentration than, like, the Empire has or something?
Yeah, they have more Underlords than, like, the Empire and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, they can't all be Underlords.
Yeah. And, so then Yaren's, like, they remind me of, like previous Dread God cult that, like, I, like, ran into, whatever. It's
right.
Like, because they didn't use the same name, but, like, it's the same thing or whatever.
Right.
So then she's like, I'll tell you about my stuff.
Yep. Backstory time.
Yep. And so it's like, some people call it a blood shadow. And, I guess, like, she was a prodigy, and so then it was, like, attracted to her power in some way or whatever.
Yeah, it, like, sought her out. Yeah, when they first started talking about this idea of, like, some can take it, some can't.
Yeah.
If you can, it'll give you a bunch of power, but it's still whatever.
If you can control it.
So when this was first starting, she was like, I was a prodigy. My first thought was, like, the village, like, her family, something along those lines, like, intentionally...
Gave it to her.
To her to try and, like... She can handle it. She'll, you know,
to, like, boost her.
Yeah, because she talks about, like, you know, everyone thinks that they'll be the exception. Yeah. And, you know, Lyndon's like, he had to say it, but, like, I was thinking about it too. It could be, like, you know, guaranteed.
Yeah. Which I love that, like, Yaren doesn't blame him for that either. She's just like, I know you're thinking that. Like,
yeah.
I'm not you.
Yeah.
And that's what Lyndon thinks too, is you're not me. But yeah, like, so it like took over, like, she was about, like, 7 or 8 or whatever when that happened or whatever. Everyone in town said I was shiny, my future was going to be star of my town. Made me stick out. It ends up even to a Dread God. And so then it was, like, trying to, like, burrow in and, like, take over her, but then she, like, fought it off. While she was fighting it off, it, like, cut her dad, which then made... like,
the blood spawn start appearing,
and then it, like, attacked, like, basically the whole town, and so, like, it just, like, ran through everyone.
Because as soon as one person bleeds as a blood spawn, then if they can make someone else, and then it just keeps, you know, more of them, and bring more people, making more people bleed.
So then she was just there, like, holding it back for, like, a long time, until her master came and, like, got her out.
Yeah, because when this was first starting, I was thinking this was maybe going to be... you know, something of, like, oh, they sort of gave it to her.
Yeah.
And so, like, there'd be, like, this, you know... Because that would sort of, like, complicate things in terms of, like... You know, and then with, like, I'm sad my family died, but then they were also trying to do this sort of thing. But that would maybe make it a little too complicated in a way. Where it's, like, you know... It would make her feelings about it more complicated rather than just sort of, like, straightforward.
Just, like, straight, like, tragic.
Straight, like, tragic. Yeah. Which, you know, not that there's anything, like, wrong with, like, either of those. It's just, like, you know, that's kind of where I thought it was maybe going to go when it, like, first started. Because I do think that'd be, like, an interesting kind of, like, angle for it. But, you know, but yeah, that's all. That's just a little thought that I had been having. It's like, I think that'd be, like, an interesting angle, but it's not like it's better or worse. It's just, like, another
way.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so then they could, like, Lyndon just kind of, like, sits with her and like listens, you know, and just sits with her and, like, to be there for her, because he's like he wished that, like, he had that in, like, some of his, like like when he was, like, feeling, like, alone and all of that.
Right.
So then, like, they kind of sit there, whatever, and then Yaren immediately wants to go after Red Moon Hall. She's like, we're going after them. They can't all be Underlords. I'd say we could stop any of them under True Gold, or we could find a way to deal with them together. Like, you know, like, we could just, like, be pointed at one or whatever, like, yeah, we have to track down a Trugel, don't we? Cassius could tell us where it is. He points us out, we slip in, we can do this. And Lyndon's like, why don't we be careful? We don't need to rush in.
Yeah.
Like, that could work, but, like, I don't know. Why don't we try in advance first? Like, we could, like, wait, like, for Ethan.
And she's like, that'll take too much time.
Yeah. And, like, it's like, if Ethan can make me Trugel tomorrow, sure. Like, but, like, other than that, like, I want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going with whoever's raising their swords against Red Moon Hall. But who is that? It's like, well, the Skysworn are gonna do it. So, like, maybe, like...
I'll go join the Skysworn. I'll go be a cop.
Yep. And so then, it's like, the Ethan's out there fighting, like, underlords and emissaries. So they're like, oh, like, we'll go just talk to Cassius tomorrow. Let's, like, sleep on it, and we'll go talk to Cassius tomorrow. And so it's, like, Lyndon, like, ends the chapter with, like, like, maybe he can convince Yaren tomorrow, like, that this isn't, like, the choice right now. Because he's like, everything can be solved with advancement.
Right. I mean, you know.
And Yaren's like, everything can be solved with fighting.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, they've got their own...
You know, I solve all my problems by fighting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is an interesting sort of, like, conflict between them.
Yeah.
I feel like, because, like, you understand where they're both coming from. Like, Yaren has this trauma associated with them, and it's very understandable, like, bad shit's happening right now, so we need to do something right now. While he's like... We can't do anything right now, so we need to get stronger, we need to prepare, we need to be cautious.
Yep, and it's directly connected to, like, Yaren and stuff like that, and Lyndon doesn't have as, like, visceral of, like, a connection immediately, you know?
Right, exactly, yeah. Yep, so that's chapter 10?
Yeah.
Chapter 11.
Chapter 11. They're talking to Cassius. He's got a blood frog thing giving him blood.
Forgot about that. I forgot about the blood frog thing giving him blood.
Yep. And so he's supposed to not be in any strenuous activity or conversation.
Yes,
and they're giving
no
him
stress, and they're stressing him.
Yep. And so they're asking him, like, you know, Lyndon's trying to convince him that, like, it's a bad idea, and Yaren's like, we should go after Red Moon Hall, and Lyndon's like, how would you give me more advancement stuff? And Cassius is like, you have been expensive. So
You've been getting all of the advancement stuff.
Yeah, so if you would like more, you have to do work for the family. And Lyndon's like, a chart of rules and things to do in order to get more advancement stuff? Yes, that's exactly what I want. And Yaren's like, no!
A system that I can game? Yep. Count me in.
Yep.
There's gotta be a loophole somewhere.
Yep.
Lyndon the lawyer, baby.
Exactly. And then Yaren's like, I just want to go fight Red Moon Halls. This isn't helping me with anything. If you can't advance me now, then there's no point. I'm like, they have a recruiting thing happening. I want to go with the Skysworn.
Yeah.
And Lyndon's like, but, like, are you gonna leave the like, what, we're, like, leaving or the Aurelius after we just, like...
After we, like, just joined, basically?
Joined, and she's like, well, you don't have to leave the Aurelius to, like, join the Skysworn. This is just, like, another thing working for the Empire. Like, this is, like, you're not leaving the family to do it.
You're just joining the police.
Yeah, basically. You're just, like, working for the Empire in a different way. And so she's like, I'm gonna try and join. And Lyndon's like, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's kind of, I don't want to go blow by blow in all of this. It's a good, like...
conversation and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just sort of a continuation of their conflict as they sort of rift over this. They're sort of moving in different directions, and they want to stay together, but they're very much, like, moving in different directions. And
Ethan isn't around, so Lyndon's, like, a little, like, unsure. Like,
yeah, he's like, a little lost on what he wants to do.
Yep, and, like, yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, because it's, like, on the one hand, Lyndon, he's so motivated, and he has this goal that he's working towards, but he also doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, he needs teachers.
Yep.
Because
some, like, guidance.
Because he hasn't been in this world.
Yep.
So, like, he needs some sort of teacher, some sort of guidance, and Ethan's not there right now.
Yep.
And Yaren has said multiple times that she's not going to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And she will just do something.
Yep.
Like, Lyndon, he's got to make plans.
Yep, and Yaren has to act.
And so, like, you know... Lyndon's like, ooh, yes, clear-cut instructions that I can game. That's perfect. While Yaren's like, clear-cut instructions? I hate that shit. Give me a fight. That's the one thing that I know how to do.
Exactly.
So please just let me do the one thing that I know how to do.
Yep, especially Red Moon Hall, like the blood, like blood spawn, blood shadows, all of that.
Yep, put me in, coach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of like, by the end of this discussion, kind of come to like, well, we don't agree. Like, I guess I can't do this. And it's like, Lyndon's like, I don't understand why we're rushing into this. Give me time. She's like, I don't have time. And so it's just like a whole, like, you understand both of them. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good, like, conflict there. Because,
like, you understand why she wants to do something, but you also understand, like what are you gonna do? Kill one gold? Yeah. Maybe? Yeah. Like, what's...
Yeah, but, like, now she has a bit of a plan. Joining the Skysworn is way more of a plan than she had before.
That is true.
Like, she does actually have, like, a bit of a thing now. Right. Not just point to random true gold, let's go fight. Yeah. It's like, okay, join the Skysworn, they're fighting Red Moon Hall, they'll send you someplace,
Yeah, sort of help them in that fight, you know.
Yeah, so then we switch to Yaren's point of view, and she's going to go ask if she can join up.
Yep, she's going to the army recruiter, and...
Yep. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we've been, like, we're recruiting for Red Moon Hall or whatever. Like, and you're fighting, like, that's what you're doing? You're fighting the Bloodspawn? Alright, I'm in. Like, let's go. And so then they, like, scan her, and they think she's on a slaughter path. So, like, we don't usually take people on slaughter paths.
Yeah, blood and blade.
Yeah. Yeah, Sacred Artists on Paths of Blood and Sword weren't the most popular people around. They were known for murdering anybody that came across just to cycle. It had earned them the nickname Slaughter Paths, though Yaren had heard others. But you're a high gold. We're not in the business of turning down high golds, so...
Yeah.
Come and try out.
I had this thought earlier, actually. I'm like, can you... I imagine you couldn't, or else they would just do this. But, like... If you're channeling blood aura, can you just, like, cycle your own blood? Like, cut yourself, get your blood, and be like, I'm gonna cycle the aura from my own blood?
I think you can, like, do some sort of, like, defense, because, like, your spirit has, like, control of your own body or whatever. So, like, I think... There's a certain amount of it, but like... But
you can just get, where can you get more blood? Other people. You only got so much blood in you.
Right.
But it's like, but you always got blood in you. And so you always got some aura to pull upon, I guess, perhaps. Does blood type matter? Does blood type exist in this world?
I assume blood type doesn't matter in Madra.
I assume so. It's like, oh, no. I only cycle O-positive blood. The most powerful form of blood Madra comes from type AB.
That's great. Yeah, so then we switch perspectives, and we switch to Ethan's perspective. And so this bit's also interesting. He is officially... on a private cloud ship on the way to the capital, but he's not actually. He is actually on Stormrock with the Emperor because they're all at this meeting. They did a fake send off of the Emperor or whatever, but he's actually with
secretly.
Them.
So I forgot that this is also on Skyrock.
Yeah.
I think I just assumed that this was somewhere else for some reason because I don't know. I missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just, like, because they went to, like, via Stormrock to a specific place. So they're, like, looking over it.
Yeah.
I think, like, that, the Leaf place, maybe.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I think I just got myself all confused or whatever. Because, like, oh, yeah, Ethan was also there on Skyrock because, like, he got picked up by Uruguay. Yeah. And then they're pretending to leave, but then they're still here. Yeah. So, like, it would make sense that they're there. I just, for some reason, was like, yeah, no, Ethan's, like, off somewhere. And I'm like, why did I think that?
Yeah, so then he's meeting with the top 7 Underlords, as well as the Emperor.
These are fun.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me think of, like, Naruto, the different, like, hidden in the sand, hidden in the whatever, you know. And
different like Kages.
Yeah, the different Kages. You know, which kind of reminds me of that a little bit. You know, they each have their own like specialties, and you know, we get just like a little bit of some of these guys.
Yeah. We have the top like the top ranked one, who is I can't remember which one is the.
Yeah, like which of these is the number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if they like say specifically who is.
I looked through it earlier and I'm pretty sure they did, but I'm not seeing it in my highlights, so it's not the biggest deal. Yeah, so they're like going through this meeting or whatever, and it's like Ethan's like, oh, like I would have, a good thing I didn't have to sneak in or whatever, like that would have been rude. It's like I need to advance my plans anyway, and like all of that.
Yeah, he's just kind of being a dick as usual.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're talking about like what the whole plan is, what they're going up against, all of that. He's like looking at like Narhuan as he's like speaking or whatever, and he's like, Narhuan wasn't a master of capturing an audience, but he had presence, personality, and a flair for style. He'd learn. And there's like 7 others, so there's yeah.
Because the one that I really remember from this is the like Red Leaf one.
Yes, yeah.
She was fun. I enjoyed her because she's like the one who like healed Ethan.
Yeah. So there's Narugwe, second ranked, which is, we already know him from the Skysworn. Talking about the Jai clan and how it's like we can't confirm like it's like how long it was breached, but attracted the Bleeding Phoenix. A crack came from the edge of the table as the Emperor's sister lost control of her strength, so she's another one, the Emperor's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, will the Skysworn be enough to stop Red Moon Hall? He didn't have to be subtle here. Very few of the others considered him important enough to care what he was doing, and the ones who did wouldn't stop him. We will serve the Empire with honor, and we are recruiting as we speak, but we could use as many applicants as we can, if only to keep peace while we focus on the real battle. And he... Kotai. Kotai show, I think, is the... Oh, it's the 3rd ranked. What am I doing? Yeah, because he had one that's like, one of his fists was 5 times bigger than the other, because he lost one of his hands as a kid. Yeah, he had storm grease skin, and he had lost his left arm in battle as a child, replacing it with the limb of a massive stone Madra remnant.
Right.
Yeah, and so then they talk about like, okay, this is the issues that we got. We got 3 problems. The Bloodspawn are the first. They're part of the Phoenix power. So they'll only show up in the red zone around the nest, but they'll spread further as the Dread God awakens. Like, the aura goes further and further.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'd call that a regional emergency on its own. Second, Red Moon Hall. There's 2 levels of Red Moon Hall. There's the vassals, who the blood shadows take control of them, and they're like kind of mindless. They're not really more like beasts almost. Yeah,
they're under the control of the thing as opposed to having control of the blood shadow.
Yeah, and they tend to stick near the Phoenix or near emissaries. Then there's the emissaries, who they have control of the blood shadow. And they were powerful sacred artists even before they controlled their parasites. With the blood shadow, they can each fight beyond their stage. Battle reports we've received from the Akura clan, based on encounters with Red Moon Hall outside the Empire, confirm multiple emissaries at the Underlord level, as well as at least 1 Overlord, and supposedly the Sage of Red Faith.
Yes, the Sage of Red Faith.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So they don't say Archlord, but they do say Sage.
Yes. And then we have the 3rd and final problem, the Dread God itself.
Right. And
it's like we've got plans for each of them. And like they go over the stuff for the emissaries with Ethan. He's like talking about like, oh, I like fought an emissary and he was like pretty strong. And he's like, he almost made me pull out a contingency measure or whatever. Like thinking about his fight with Longhook.
Yeah.
And then if he was the only one of his kind we could manage, honored Chan Ma could have surely destroyed him. He was the number 1 ranked.
Gotcha.
In the Black Flame Empire. He was the head of the Cloud Hammer.
Right, yeah.
The Cloud Hammer School.
Right, yes, because that's also part of why I'm so curious about them, because they're like, they've got the fucking number 1 ranked guy.
Yeah. And the dark cloud hanging over his head seemed to indicate to the Underlord's perpetual mood. And he's got like hammers.
Made of clouds.
And so then, but he was not alone. He had a bunch of allies in the mountains, so they have like a bunch more like emissaries and stuff. With so many underlords and enemies' forces, it seems right to me that we should count ourselves as the front line of defense for the Empire. And so Ethan's like, we all need to work together, and we all blah, 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 putting all this out, and everyone's like, all right, dude. So it's like, it's just as well. Someone would have proposed it anyway, but by being the one to bring it up, they would make sure he was forced into participating. So he could nobly accept the role of a temporary Skysworn officer, where he gathered at least one of his beloved disciples was about to enroll. So he's trying to get in with them.
Yeah.
And Narasea is,
the sister?
The sister, yeah. The Emperor's, little sister. And she's one of the other, young underlords. She's like, near like Ethan's age or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, she had been the youngest underlord in the Empire before Ethan, and her senses rivaled those of the Aurelius family.
Yeah, because like earlier when we were talking about how Yaren is a gold on the same level as Cassius, they're both like high gold.
Yeah.
She's like younger though than Cassius.
I'm not sure if she's younger than Cassius.
How old's Cassius?
Well, maybe she is.
Because she's like 16?
I don't think she's that young. Is she?
Because like her and Lyndon are about the same age, right?
Of Narasea? The Emperor's sister? Oh, sorry, who are you
Yaren.
talking about? Okay, well, I was like, what are you talking about?
We were talking about Yaren and Cassius and how they're on the same level, but she's younger.
Okay.
I was like, when we were talking about how Yaren and Cassius were both like true gold, but then Yaren was younger than Cassius.
Yeah.
And so
I was confused because we were talking about...
Yeah, we've been talking about her, but then I was like, when we were talking earlier about how Cassius and Yaren are at like the same level.
Yeah.
They're both like high gold.
High gold, yes.
But she's younger.
Younger, yes.
Yes, she meaning Yaren in this situation.
Yes.
So I'm like, she's like 16.
Yeah.
Yaren is. And so it's like, she's really young for being a high gold, and thinking about how like Ethan and whatever.
Yes, Narasea, yeah.
Narasea are like young for being
yes.
underlords and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like
I was confused for a second.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that Yaren's like only that old, but then you were just like so completely sure. You were just like so confused, and I'm like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure. So like, is Cassius way younger than I thought he was?
Yeah, I was moving it over to to this group of people, so I was
Nah, I get you. Yeah. That was all.
Yeah. So then Narasea is like, well, we just need to like take out Red Moon Hall. We need like, we have underlords and the overlord. We just need a sage, like, and we can take the fight to them. We can take them out and then evacuate for the Dread God.
Yeah.
And Ethan's like, you know, like, maybe it would work, but probably not. He's like, finding a sage might be tricky. I have it on good authority that the sage of the Endless Sword was killed not so long ago, which leaves Frozen Blade and Silver Heart. And that's of the Red Flower family. Li Min of the Red Flower family.
Gotcha.
And then they ask, what about the Aurelius homeland? The Sage of 1,000 Eyes has an honorable reputation. She would come to our aid. And Ethan's like, he hadn't been to the homeland for 7 years, but memory of his last failure was still harsh. I am afraid the doorway doesn't open for another 3 years. Besides, last I saw them, they didn't have any help to spare for anyone else. If the Sage of 1,000 Eyes was still alive after all this time, then she was much wiser than he had given her credit for. Or she had found a powerful ally somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's a whole thing.
Sage of 1,000 Eyes.
Yes.
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe dead. I have some notion, maybe from you talking about stuff before, like about some woman who becomes a tree, and for some reason I'm like, maybe that's this lady.
Got you.
So I could be misplacing this, but I'm like, she's a tree.
Got you.
She's like a tree right now or something. So yeah. And it's like, yeah, what'd Ethan do? What was his mistake that got him out here?
Yep.
Presumably.
Yep.
And
he doesn't really want to think about it.
Yeah, and the door doesn't open for another 3 years. What's that mean?
Yep.
Fuck you talking about, man? What does that mean?
Yep.
But yeah, Sage of 1,000 Eyes is very cool.
Yeah.
That's a very cool name.
Yeah, so then they continue to talk or whatever. Like, we need to, like, if we can't get, like, a sage, or it's like, at least we must beg the help of a sage and a monarch. And Ethan's like, good luck to you. Monarchs were practically myths. It would be hard enough to find a herald, and very few monarchs could be reached at all, by mortals anyway. Those few that stayed in one place and ruled steady kingdoms all had something wrong with them. Not that Ethan would say so out loud. Some of them could hear their names spoken from across the world.
Yeah, curious about that. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah. Still, supplicants had an equal chance of being ignored for centuries, granted an audience, or unmade. It was like begging the help of a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like they could drive off the dread god, but they're hard to talk to, and this is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So then the Emperor goes, Underlord Aurelius, you're gonna go talk to, you will be our representative to the Akura family. Using our name, you will beg an audience with their monarch as one of her loyal servants. They have shielded us from dragons for generations, and they might grant us grace this time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan's like, you're sending me to die. What? And he's, like, panicking a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't waste resources, but, like, if your sacrifice can buy us an audience with a monarch, then, well, that's good then.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So then he's like, okay, well, fine. I can work with this.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, it does make sense and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And it's like, how's it feel to be a fucking pawn now, Ethan?
Yeah.
You're the pawn now, dog.
Yeah. So then he's like, okay, well, you've never asked for the Akura's help before. Like, why are you asking now?
Yeah, there's some sort of like, oh, we've got like some sort of good standing with them.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, what's that mean? What's that about?
We may also reveal that the Akura family has recently asked a service of us. As we have agreed to their terms, currently we are on better footing with their clan than we've ever been before. And then Ethan's thinking more about the Akura. Ethan had been unaware that there had been any more than incidental contact between the great Akura clan and the relatively unimportant Black Flame Empire.
Yep, always a bigger fish.
Yep. The Akura protected the Empire from dragons simply because they were both humans, but otherwise they were utterly apathetic. Only their lack of motivation kept them from enslaving the entire populace or raising them for cultivation resources.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and that's the end of chapter 11?
Yeah.
Chapter 12, the final chapter of the evening.
Yeah. So we've got, they're in a soulsmith foundry at the Skysworn at their place.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the apprentice, like a super small room, and there's like all the...
not the big fancy one that was being hyped up earlier.
Yeah. But it's still, like, it can make, it can make up to, like, Underlord level constructs.
Oh yeah, it's like, it's still nice.
Yeah. But, like, all of the stuff is, like, changed to the wall so that you can't, like, take any of the equipment and stuff, because it's, like, plated with gold steel instead of solid gold steel stuff, all the equipment or whatever. And Lyndon's like, I had better stuff if I could make a better thing or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, but I need to make a new arm when I go to Underlord anyway, so like, fine.
Yeah. It's funny. It makes me think of there's like old like taverns and shit. They like the cups would be like chained to the table and stuff, so you couldn't just like steal them.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like metal expensive.
But it also means that like everyone's using like the same ones.
Yeah.
And stuff, and so like, you know, some people would just bring their own instead. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yeah.
So then they get everything ready because they're making his arm. They're adding in the binding and all of that. And the plan is, so with the new binding and everything, he should be able to pull in someone's Madra and vent it. Like Fisher Gesha is like, I don't think you'll be able to like absorb their power or whatever, and like Lyndon's like, I might be able to figure that out later, but for now, like pulling it in and venting it, like that's great.
Yeah, fucking Dark Wraith from Dark Souls 1. It's like, what if I got a cool glowy arm that let me siphon people's souls?
Yep.
Not souls, and it's their humanity. In Dark Souls 1, the Dark Wraiths can suck humanity out of people to gain power. And Lyndon would absolutely become one and then get flooded to New Londo. Like a chump. Or he'd become Artorias of the Abyss and make a covenant with the Abyss in order to save Ulisile.
Yeah.
Because I could also see him making some sort of covenant with the darkness in order to save his village or whatever.
He's very much of he would like to do both at once.
Yes, if I could do both. If I could, get this cool power and also...
Yeah. Yeah. So then they start like forging the hand. So they've like pushed it full of like of like pure Madra and like all sorts of stuff. You could sense the power of the white binding. It felt like intense hunger, like all of that. They're going over the notes or whatever, talking about subject 1 as the source of the hunger Madra.
But they don't know what that is.
Yeah, yes.
They just know that like all these notes keep making reference back to subject 1.
Yeah, it seems the entire purpose of their research in the labyrinth was to duplicate subject 1's unique Madra. And so then they go through the whole like process, like you need the binding, the material, and the Madra or whatever, and like kind of going through like forging in general, and like pulling out the binding, and then they like combine them together and like put more stuff into it. It's like all a whole like good description or whatever, but I don't think there's a ton unless there's something you wanna
go
into.
You know, they because mainly it's just like they put the stuff in there. They're like put the binding in there, and then the arm starts going crazy.
Yep. Like they get it made, and then it starts like
getting up and moving around.
Yeah. So like, cause it's in like a bubble of like Madra or whatever. So like eats that Madra and then starts like running around.
Yep.
Because
it's got hunger.
Yep. Yeah, so then he's like he has like kind of a mental connection to it. He like feels it. And it like he feels that it's like he like rushes for Little Blue because it tries to like eat Little Blue.
Yes.
And so then he's like then he like grabs it or whatever, and Fisher Gush is like, this is why you don't use unique parts. If something goes wrong, and it's like,
you don't know what it is that's causing it to go wrong.
It's like, and you have to give up all your wasted time and like parts and all of that. And so then he thinks that there has to be something he could do to salvage to this. It would be a waste of not only irreplaceable materials, but also far too much time and like opportunity. And so what he called hunger wasn't just that. It felt similar to hunger, but it was more textured with deeper layers. He felt ambition, greed, gluttony, and endless desire to reach for more and more.
Truly perfect for for Linda.
And then he goes, it needed a mind to control it, a will to keep it in check, and it fit him. There was a little of this hunger in him already, and he like uses
a little.
He like uses that power to like kind of connect to it. He like thinks like kind of over his life, and it's like the helplessness of living as an unsouled, and like all of that.
Yep.
He's like. He throws like all of like him like looking at all the stuff in Heaven's Glory and all of that,
and like wanting it. He just like thinks back on all these moments of the Yeren had a term for it.
Dragon Fever.
Dragon Fever. Yeah. It feels like that, you know.
Absolutely. And so then like he like feeds that to the arm and just like shoves it onto his arm.
Onto his arm. He's still got half an arm, so you know.
Yeah. And then he like blacks out, and Fisher Gush had to like put it on, forge it on, and like finish the process or whatever.
Yeah,
so like when he wakes up, Fisher Gush is like yelling at him like, dangerous, too dangerous, could have devoured you, you know, and you made me forge it on, so that'll hurt your compatibility. An impulsive soulsmith is a dead soulsmith. I can say that for certain.
Yeah.
And Lyndon's like, but I felt it. She's like, I know that sounds like weird, but like it was right.
Yeah. And now his fucking arm has like he has this like maniacal arm.
Yeah, so it keeps not doing what he's saying. Like he keeps like the shaking itself at people and doing the opposite of what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it like reaches for Fishagesha at one point and all of that. And she's like, "Don't use the binding." He's like, "Don't use the binding. Like that'll be bad for your like Madra channels and all of that. Like, don't do that." Right. Or whatever. And so then, like, after that kind of, like, settles down and everything, Fisher Gesha is, like, just kind of sitting there, and he's like, I'm glad to see what I can do with this arm, like, I'm excited, or whatever. She goes, what is wrong with you, boy? That wasn't the first thing I expected her to say. Honored Fisher, I apologize. You've been running at a full sprint for more than a year. Well, I guess I can understand at first, considering your fight with the Jai Boy. Afterwards, I thought you would settle into routine, No, it's adventure after adventure with you two. You're gonna burn yourself down to ash if you keep this up. So she's going on and, like, more about, like, hey, you're, like, doing a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking burn yourself out, you know. You're burning the candle at both ends. You need to fucking live a little.
Yeah, and, like, Lyndon's like, but I'm trying to catch up, and also, like, he isn't saying the whole thing about his home, like...
Yeah, because that's always sort of, like, the driving motivation in the back of his mind, that he has to get, like, so strong so quickly in order to save Sacred Valley. Which, like, his clan's maybe already getting fucked up at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Maybe Jai Chen will show up and be like, wait a minute.
What's happening here?
This is Lyndon's family. Dragon!
Yeah. Yeah, and then Fisher Gush is like, you ranked, like, 23rd. You could, like, be, like Underlord, like, in, like, at 25. And, like, you know, before that, you know...
Yeah.
Like, you could live peacefully for the rest of you know, like, you could be fine. And, like, Lyndon's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he, like, starts tearing up and, like, is, like, you know, really kind of, like, thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it was scraping him raw. He felt like a man who had started to run down a hill, going faster and faster until he couldn't stop. Now he had to keep accelerating, or stumble and fall. The problem was, he really couldn't stop. Like, thinking about, like, his home and all of that. And, like, he, like, tries to talk about it, and then he, like, can't. He's, like, crying and everything. And then Yaren comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's, like, you know, any other time, back at the beginning...
Yeah.
I would have loved to be like, oh, I could be Underlord.
Yeah.
Like...
yeah, ever.
Like, that I didn't even know that existed.
Was a thing. Yeah.
Like, I thought gold was, like, the end point, and now this is, like, beyond gold, and, like, all this, but, like, it's not good enough, because I gotta fucking save the village, and it's just, like, it's a lot emotionally for him.
Yeah, and so then Yaren comes in, and so then he, like, wipes away, he's, like, trying to, like, not, like...
Be, like, crying and stuff.
Yeah, and, Yaren immediately is like, ooh, skeleton arm, scarier than a tiger's teeth. Love it. With your black eyes, that'll have them messing themselves before you ever throw a punch. So she immediately loves it.
Yeah.
And so then she's like, yeah, so I'm leaving. I, like, gotta go now. Like, the test is now. So, like, I'm going. And Lyndon's like, oh, well. He's like, already? Like, and she's like, I told you, like, I'm going. So then he's like, well, maybe there'll be another test. And she's like, I don't know. Like, they're going back and forth. And, like, so then they, like, say goodbye. It's like, well, like, I'm going. I never would have made it without you. And she's like, I never would have made it without you. Then she's like, it doesn't need to make this any fancier than it has to be. I'll see you soon, won't I? Not gone forever. I'll see you soon, then. He called after her. And then Fisher Gusha's like, I'm sorry. And he's, like, kind of immediately depressed and is, like, kind of like, I don't really care about the arm. Well, he's like, the excitement of his new arm had been completely dampened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he goes to talk to, like, Orthos. He kind of, like, goes over, like, well, this is all I have. Orthos, Little Blue, my pack. That's about it. And goes to talk to Orthos. Orthos is, like, waking up or whatever. And he's immediately like, love the arm.
Yep.
And it was like, Linda's like, I think you and Yaren will be happier the more frightening I look.
Yeah.
Dragons are frightening. That doesn't mean I want to be. And so then he goes over, like, his path manual and is, like, kind of, like, thinking about that and, like, thinking about, like, his own path and all of that.
Right.
And then he's also, like, he kind of goes over how, like, he went so, like, deep into, like, how he did copper and iron and all of that, and then after, like, Jade or whatever, his notes starts to get more and more sparse.
Yes.
As, like...
Because he's gotta, like, keep some things, like, secret and whatnot.
Yeah, and he just, like, writes
request.
down less, And, so he's, like, thinking about it, and then he's like, then he talks to Orthos and is like, Yaren's joining the Skysworn, and Orthos is like, why? They're fighting against Red Moon Hall. He had heard about the Bloodspawn, what they had done while he had slept, and that they had come from a dread god. In his mind, Red Moon Hall had made a fool of him while he slept. And you'll allow them to do as they wish, unopposed? And Lyndon's like, the smarter choice is to just stay with Euralia's family, like, and not do this. Get stronger first. If I went to fight now, I wouldn't offer anything. A dragon does not allow fear to make his decisions for him. A dragon decides for himself. And Lyndon's like, yeah, I just want to do this. Like, like, why am I sitting here, like, thinking about it? It's
Right.
like, I want to go. And so he goes, let's go. And Orthos is like,
Hell
you don't,
yeah.
you don't need to tell me where we're going. Of course we are. A dragon always fights. So yeah.
Yep, and that does it for chapter 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're gonna be going with Yaren.
Yeah.
We're in it.
Yep.
We're gonna be
So
fighting.
he's decided to follow her, which.
Yeah, and I wonder how Ethan's gonna fit into all this.
Yeah.
You know, because he is still on Skyrock right now.
Yeah, but he's got to do. Well, he's being sent to the Akura.
Yep. So I'm like,
Yep.
is he gonna
Be back or?
Is he gonna check in with them before he leaves?
Yeah,
is he
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
like, you know, what's gonna happen exactly? So yeah, because I'm worried that they're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm worried that this is the big losing book where we lose to them and we have to get stronger and stuff because you can't just rush right in. But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe rushing right in is actually totally cool and good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that does it for this section.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Normally this would be what we've been reading, but we've been doing this. This is a long enough episode, so we're just kind of gonna cut straight to just sort of the outro.
Yeah.
Yep. This has been good though.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we finally got to do this whole section.
Yeah, and I can't wait to finish the book. I'm excited.
Yes, I am excited as well. So yeah, this has been Let's Talk About Book. And now you can go forth and think about book on your own time. Have a lovely whatever time it is.
Have a lovely day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.